Drafting for 1 million American doll hairs over in the FFP streets. Ian Hartitz and Rich Hribar back at it. Sharp football analysis. Just a great guy overall. What's going on, Reeves?
What's going on, brother? It's good to see you. I haven't seen you for a couple weeks. I've kind of just checked in with you all summer. Every couple weeks we've run into each other, so it's nice to get one more in under our belt and have a team that we can have some fun with. That come up, I've been talking about for a couple weeks. Like, it's really great to come out of the best ball streets and just talk about managed leagues, man.
Best ball's awesome. I get the allure not having to, juggle these 20 plus teams throughout the season and wanting to have a life and everything, but it's where my heart is, Reeves. That's the thing. When everyone's like, what's your favorite form of fantasy? Like, how can I not say redraft?
Yeah, it's the absolute best, man. And like I said, the game theory changes in manage and stuff, because if we come away with like 10 or 11 of these players still on the roster at week 17, like, we did well. It's, I like the in-season management and the calibration a lot, because that's like what I do at the worksheet is like
100%,
constantly calibrating. We're on the clock already at pick 5.
Drafting 105. Team Dez caught it. We've been team CMC, Reeves. You thinking that, or you thinking Brock Bowers?
I'm good with either player here in FFPC. I mean, I typically like to side with the running back because the ceiling's so much higher, and then usually it gives you more flexibility in rounds 2 through 5 to kind of see how the board goes, just because a lot of the good running backs will be gone by the time we come back on the clock again.
CMC, I'm down.
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, we play to win, man. We play to win.
If he gets hurt, we're screwed. But, it's like that old Colts coach saying about Peyton Manning, we don't practice being F. So if it happens out here. Brock Bowers, by the way, guys, we are in the FFPC streets where it's tight end premium. You get 1.5 points per reception. So please, for the love of God, in your home league drafts, that's just regular PPR. Do not consider Brock Bowers at the 105 right there. He goes, though, usually 107 over here, again, in the tight end premium scoring. And you will see the rest of them pushed up as well. But yeah, man, CMC, Reeves, we've been in other drafts together throughout, and I've seen you take him at 103. I have also kind of just gone into that as well. Not that I'm that much more, like, I'm not going to go fight someone if they want to rank Jamar Chase or Puka over Christian. Correct. But it is one of those things that you mentioned where just structurally starting off and securing that running back really makes me feel better about the rest of the roster.
I was one of the same people that opened up with Chase Puka at 3-4-2 as well. And then as we've moved to like the 11th hour of drafts, and if you look at the way the drafts have kind of started to play out by segment of the draft, you have basically picks 1 and 2 almost going with like a lot of anchor builds. You get one of those top 2 running backs, and the wide receivers are just better than the running backs at 2, 3, and then 4, 5. And I just really found it the way that the top 12 running backs have been going off the board. If you take Chase Puka, you're almost steered in a direction to go almost 0 RB or wide receiver heavy.
Yeah.
And so I think taking McCaffrey, obviously, is the one guy that is the ceiling to match the top 2 guys. He outscored both those guys by 50 points last year.
Yeah.
And then also you just have, like I said, that insulation of saying I can go wide receiver, I can use him as an anchor, or just have some flexibility to go wide receiver, running back, or tight end will be in play here because of the tight end premium. James Cook would be close to, I think, having that type of ceiling if he just didn't have to deal with Josh Allen inside the 5-yard line. I think he could be that type of player, though. Like that, it just even with more receptions this year, he's still going to concede 6 to 8 like inside the 5 rushing touchdowns.
It's really ridiculous. Him and Saquon Barkley, pretty similar players too, man. Like we know that they can both catch the football. Saquon particularly, man, not to take anything away from James, but in a different offense, I mean, we could have those guys right up there in the top 5. We'll see if the receiving work for Cook does come to fruition. It sounds like Ty Johnson's good for week 1. I think that was the last update I caught.
Yeah, it looks like he's trending to be that way. I think James Cook, too, is just going to naturally concede some rushing attempts this year because I think the Bills are going to have to throw more, not just through their changes, but they have a tougher schedule. And then he's going to trade some, I think, not inefficient touches because his runs are efficient, but he's going to have more fantasy, efficiency because the catches are going to probably go up. So even if he gets to like that even 40-plus range, like that's pretty significant for him.
Currently watching the great wall of RBs go as we enter round 2. James Cook, Jonathan Taylor, Kenneth Walker, and Chase Brown. Picks 9, 10, 11, and 12.
And this is what happens. Like I said, when you get to the back third, you get a lot of running back starts. And that we've seen like that top 12 running backs basically be purged by the time you come back up in the middle. And The other thing that's happened this offseason is the top of the RB2 guys in ADP have kind of taken some hits this top last few weeks. Breece Hall looks like he's going to be on track for week 1. Jeremiah Love is the high ankle. Everyone's breaking down him carrying pizza boxes. And then we have the JT news, which is, I assume JT will go in like the middle here. I don't know how you're handling him. We just really haven't heard anything.
I've gotten more into early parts of round 3. I'm kind of surprised there hasn't been any level of pushback with it, man. I mean, I'm happy that he's alive and that's not going to be the season-ending injury and everything. Yeah, right. Like, I'm happy that it's better news, but it's still not ideal. And I feel like because it was so bad in the moment, everyone's just like, oh, okay, we're fine. And I don't know, man. Are we?
Yeah, we don't. That's the thing is they haven't released any news. It feels like they're almost going out of their way to not call it a high ankle sprain. Is it going to bleed into the season? Is he going to miss 1 game? Is he going to miss 2? Like, we don't really have any clarity right now because they don't have to tell us anything right now.
And dude, like, I'm not convinced that the Raiders are going to be this juggernaut offense either. So if we're going to have 85 or 90% Genty, certainly not going to help his cause there as well. Also, we are recording this on Thursday evening. So there's been the Josh Jacobs day. I was planning on this, Reeves. I was looking forward to this. And at the 105, I was going to ask you if it was too early for Josh Jacobs. I had that joke ready to go and I just completely blanked on it. So I'll watch the film and get better there. I'm basically waiting for our resident fantasy football lawyer, Drew Davenport, to tell me how to react to it. Doesn't sound good, man. Certainly doesn't. But at the same time, I know the NFL moves slow on this. It does seem like maybe one of those situations where if the video does get released, we'll see something happen. I'm probably not going to be pounding the table for Josh Jacobs, but if someone was drafting tonight or Friday and we still have no new information, like, what is the earliest that you'd be willing to take Jacobs, if at all?
The tricky thing is that his court date is set for November 17th. Jeez. So, like, if the NFL chooses to say, well, we're just going to let the legal process run its course, that's typically been their MO, is to wait. Now, if this video comes out, that, like, it could just be exempless or something. But
right.
With the trial being November 17th, like, you run the risk of, like, something happening in season now. Especially for crunch time. So that's the wild card. I think that's different. Like, if he were to just
Zeke suspension,
if you were to tell me he was suspended the opening 6 games, I would almost guarantee you he'd be a value, because I did this whole study last year with the Rashee Rice suspension on how gamers overreact to suspensions. We're like 2 picks up, so we can talk about what we want to do here and then circle back here.
Absolutely. We're going to have one of Hampton or Henry available. That would really lock up our running back spot. AJ Brown's my best wide receiver on the board. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, we are looking at both those running backs being available. Those are my top 2 players available, too, in my own personal rankings.
Yeah.
So I would be fine with that. We wouldn't have a receiver coming back until round 3. We should have a decent choice of guys, though.
That's what I'm going to say, man. The 1-for-1 trade-off versus the wide receiver we're here. I mean, look, I prefer A.J. Brown to Jaylen Waddle or Devontae Smith, but I certainly feel better about Derrick Henry or Omarion Hampton compared to, Breece Hall or Jeremiah.
Starting CMC Henry, I would like Hampton of the 2.
There's neighbors.
Are you good with Hampton?
Yeah, let's go Hampton.
I mean,
one 30-plus-year-old running back is fine. 2 is a little effed up.
I was going to say CMC Henry is like the ultimate, like, boomer start like we could hope for.
What year is this? Okay, Omarion Hampton, good.
Yeah, let's do Hampton.
Getting the Davis comp from Mike McDaniel. Let's go.
Yeah, circling back to that just thought I was on, like, so I did this study last year about how gamers tend to overreact to suspensions because they don't understand, like, replacement value. Like, especially at the beginning of the year when your roster is theoretically the strongest it'll be. There's no bye weeks yet until week 5. So you're drafting bench players that aren't necessarily like even waiver wire picks. You don't have injuries yet. So Josh Jacobs, like, theoretically, if you look at my, like, projections, I even looked at this earlier. So if I just ruled him out 6 games, the opening 6 games, and put in just baseline replacement value in that you would get in your lineup, and you'll probably get more because you're playing a guy that's a higher pick than, like, a waiver wire pick or something. Like, he would still be the RB16 for the full season, like his 11 games plus replacement value. So, like, that's kind of where I'm kind of treating him as, like, that, probably, like, docking him a couple spots based on that, because what if your projection's just wrong? He is a player that, has some question marks, was a little bit inefficient last year. The offensive line's still not good. Do they want to play Marshawn Lloyd a little bit? So I would say, like, the RB20 range and, like, if you're an RB needy team, but more or less now with just the trial being November, I'm probably just going to let someone else deal with it and just hope it doesn't beat me.
I'm kind of with you there too, because I feel like, again, we're hearing about this alleged video, and I'm trying to read through it myself. And some people are saying, is there actually a video of the incident, or is it more so a video of after the incident occurred? We do not quite know what's
All
going
the
on
super
here
sleuths
again.
are on it.
Right, just ridiculous. So we'll see exactly what the final verdict is with that. But I'm just worried, man, that if it is a really bad video, maybe it's not 6 games. Maybe they just freaking cut the guy and never plays football again.
Right. And that's what we don't know, because, obviously the Kareem Hunt thing was when that video came out, because I remember the Chiefs kind of like didn't know what to do when that video came out. And I remember like his boy grabbed him, like he was running at that girl. And I was like, dude, no one knows what would have happened. Like his success rate wasn't high on that. His boy tackled him last week. He converted in short yardage all the time, but his dude made a great call there.
Didn't have that club in his bag back then, I guess. And the Cleveland Browns said, come on down, because that's never gone wrong for them. Entering round 3 now, guys, we had A.J. Brown, Nico Collins, Chris Olave go off the board, along with Ashton Genty and Colson Loveland, after we scooped up Omarion Hampton. So again, picking out the 5 holes, CMC Hampton start. Gives us a lot of flexibility, Reeves. We got our RB1, we got our RB2 spot. This is also FFPC. We're only starting 2 wide receivers. We do have 2 flexes, so I mean, we're not trying to fall behind too much of the position or anything like that. But when you do have those 3 wide receiver starts, that's what I'm a lot more concerned about. Again, probably getting a wide receiver at least inside the first 3 rounds. We could still stick at running back. Everyone's afraid of these 30-year-olds, Reeves, but not us.
I mean, I just look at when you get these guys, I always think the front of these drafts, I always think touchdown forward. And, you got 2 guys that are probably going to score double-digit touchdowns, if they're on the field. So that's what I love, man. And this just gives us the option to just like bury wide receiver now. Like we can just go hard at wide receiver like the next few rounds. And this is where I think wide receiver is the best, like rounds 3 through 6.
It's literally why I just want to be in auctions this year, because I'm in redraft mode where it's like I can only take one of these guys. I want them all. But Derrick Henry is officially off the board. You're not really a Javonte Williams guy this year, are you, Reeves?
Not so much, but like I get the allure. He just feels like a safe pick. And like in this range, I almost always have 2 running backs. So I'm more looking at wide receivers typically when his ADP comes up, but I get the process behind him, because he's another guy you can say is going to score double-digit touchdowns.
Trey McBride and Colson Loveland off the board, so we're not looking at a tight end here. I'm good on Breece Hall. Sounds like we're both good with wide receivers. So Devontae Smith, Jaylen Waddle, Lab McConkey, Zay Flowers, T. Higgins, Rashee Rice, some of the top guys out there. Why mess around with Josh Jacobs when we can draft an upstanding citizen like Rashee Rice? You know what I'm saying? So I prefer not to go that route. Who's kind of your favorite pick here, Reeves?
Again, I like all these guys, and I think we'll probably look back in February and say like, oh, did you get all these guys in the right order? Right. I hope so. But if you could sell me on any of these guys, I'm in on all of them. I personally have Devontae Smith ranked the highest, but it's not like a huge gap to where like if you like I like Glad or you like Zay, like I'd be like, okay.
There goes Devontae Smith. All right. I have
that game renewed as well.
Yeah, right. They're listening. We actually are not live on this, but I'm maybe my office is bugged. I have Jaylen Waddle ranked the next highest, but again, I have him, Ladd, and Zay. You're cool with Waddle?
Yeah, I'm definitely cool. Like he's not coming back either, so if like you have him at this spot, like go ahead and push the button.
Jaylen Waddle, come on down. Feels good.
That whole like wide receiver 12 to maybe to wide receiver 28, 29. You could tell me 6 to 8 guys could finish as a wide receiver 1 in that range, and I wouldn't even blink. I'd say, yeah, I see it for that. I see that player achieving.
I have 18 wide receiver 1s in my top 12 as we approach September. So always the optimistic era for sure. But no, I hear you, man. And it is I will say, like, once I get though, I like how you said wide receiver 28, because that is about it. Because once I get to Carnell Tate, Marvin Harrison Jr., BTJ, Quentin Johnston, DK Metcalf.
Yep.
That's honestly the Dazon Stribling stuff. What made me kind of actually boost him up the ranks. I'm curious where you have him too. I think I ended up at wide receiver 38, but if someone to say I want him ahead of Carnell Tate or Marvin Harrison Jr., I mean, it's not egregious. I do think there's starting to be more of a cutoff there after, your unks. I know you're a little bit higher on the, older wide receiver vets, and for good reason. We're going to be ranking them higher. But Rome Odunze, DJ Moore, Jamison Williams, Parker Washington, like once we get past those guys, I do think there's a bit of a fall off.
Same. I typically like to have 4 wide receivers by that point. Because then you're looking at maybe potentially having to play one of those other guys regularly. And they're more bets like you would like them for like insulation. Like if this player pops, I got on my bench and then I got value, or if like he's good enough to throw in a bye week, you got the upside still. But like on a weekly level, you're like, I don't know how I feel about Quentin Johnston every week, man. But yeah, I mean, Stribling's an interesting case. Like I was talking with JJ about this. It's just like there's not a lot of examples of this happening. Like this type of player that has a very low production profile coming into the NFL. And this is not to start a holy war versus like film versus analytics, because I've actually come probably around on the other side where I incorporate more football knowledge in my analysis at all. But like the NFL is a very low hit rate when they take the hubris of the guy of like, we think he's better than what he played in college. Like so for an example, since 2000, there are 14 other wide receivers that have a lower than a 50th percentile production score in my model. Devon Stribling is he's 44th percentile. The players on that list, the other 14 are McCole Hardman, and they were taken in the top 60 picks. Sorry, I should caveat this. McCole Hardman, Xavier Legette, Curtis Samuel, Ricky Pearsall, Christian Watson, Jeremy Bernard, who's also TBD, Jack Besh, Van Jefferson, Kadarius Toney, Adonai Mitchell, Dante Pettis, Henry Ruggs, Alec Pearson, Jonathan Mingo. This is the third Shanahan guy. If you heard me on the third Shanahan guy. So he's been in this thing, like very low hit rate here. And then we also have another thing in play here is like, when have we had a guy rise this much in the preseason, like to this degree?
Right.
And there's not a lot of this, like, cause me and JJ were trying to pull stuff. Lad McConkey got up to wide receiver 43 as a rookie, but even he had a little bit better production profile and also had a cleaner path to targets. The other thing we haven't seen is Devon Stribling hasn't played in any 2 wide receiver sets in preseason, and CMC, George Kittle, and Mike Evans haven't played. So, like,
even DeMarcus Robinson has it. And I don't think Robinson is going to be the reason why Stribling doesn't boom or anything like that. But 110 and a tud in that wild card game, like he is going to be starting probably in 3 wide receiver sets.
And I have a lot of Stribling from rookie drafts just because I was taking him on principle of just draft capital and where he landed. And it just feels like I've got enough at like a really great price that I don't need to go all the way up the board anymore.
I got you. I will say the one thing that kind of helped change my mind though too is I don't really know if he's going to be amazing. I think it's been good to see him make some plays in the preseason. I will say some dots by Mac Jones in there, right? It's not like he's exactly, just 10 yards of separation every single play, but he's played good and everything. I'm not trying to take that away, but I started going through the Kendrick Bourne 142-yard games, the Richie James masterclass. Juwan Jennings is a good wide receiver, okay? I don't think he's a special talent, and he was going for 175 and 3 tuds out there. So I'm just like, if those guys can get it done, why can't Devon Stribling?
Yeah, that's the thing is you need the runway cleared. Now, what I will say about Stribling is if you are going to bet on a guy with like that low percentage of like hit rate, this would be the setup, right? Like he's got Purdy, he's got Kyle Shanahan, and all the other pass catchers on the roster are on the wrong age of the age apex and have their own injury history as well. So the setup is there. Like I get the bull case. It's just that I have so much cheap Stribling that I'm like, all right, like, I don't have to go, I don't have to chase it still.
I got you. All right, guys, entering round 4 now. After we picked, we did have Team 8 actually double up on tight ends, which does make sense, at least, a little bit more in tight end premium with Trey McBride and Tyler Warren. We had Breece Hall and Jeremiah Love go right after us, so they are mid-round 3 picks, despite having their respective injuries. Again, probably going to be out there in week 1, so no reason to downgrade them too far. Rashee Rice, Lab McConkey, Zay Flowers, Emeka Ibuka, and T. Higgins, some of the next wide receivers off the board. I've soured on Ibuka a little bit, man. The toe thing doesn't help, and this also just – when I look at these wide receivers in the 1 versus the 2, it's like McConkey versus QJ. I'm confident it's going to be Lad. Zay and Bateman, even though I still love Bateman,
Correct.
It's definitely going to be Zay. Godwin Ibuka is the one where I'm like, if that was Godwin leading the way, we shouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, I can see it. My whole thing with Ibuka, who I opened up pretty high on, is just that I feel like this group of receivers is so tightly packed, and injuries are going to find you anyways in the season. Like, why take the guy who's already dealing with something?
Yep.
Like,
yeah, it's enough of a tiebreaker, man. So
right. But he has fallen a little bit because he was really the guy that was getting juiced. Like in our Apex draft, I think he went wide receiver 12. This is pre-toe injury, the league that we do with all the other degenerates.
Yeah, I got Jacobs round 5. I thought that was a sick pick.
It still could be. You never know.
We'll see. All right, we're going to be up in 2 picks here. I have Luther Burden, Tedero McMillan, Garrett Wilson, Christian Watson, Parker Washington as the best wide receivers available. What are your thoughts here, Reeves?
Yep, still same bucket. Like, I'm good with all of these guys. Again, this is why I feel like this is the strength. Like you could tell me all these, like any of these players smash, and I'm like, yep, there's the pathway for it. We drafted in the spot yesterday, and we took Jameis. We were at 1 though, and took Jamison Williams and Christian Watson in the spot. Burden didn't make it to us, but we were in agreement. If Burden would have got there, we would have taken him.
Yeah.
Garrett
Seems
Wilson
like he's going to be okay.
Very high. I think Garrett Wilson is going to smash for as long as Geno Smith plays. I'm just a little concerned that final month of the year we might not get him. We might not get Geno Smith on the field, and he's gone anyway, so it's fine.
Burden versus T-Mac, Watson, and Parker. I have Burden ranked the highest.
I have McMillan the highest, but I have no qualms of, like I said, going with Burden here either. I mean, anytime Ben Johnson's had a chance to talk about Luther Burden, like he's basically talking about him like a child, like one of his own kids.
We love the offense a lot more. I think he's fine for week 1. Everything we've heard and seen with the injury, I'm not too concerned about it.
I was a little bit down on Tet to open, but this proof of concept with him actually playing like in the slot, I think is actually massive for his floor.
You cool with going Burden?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Let's go with Burden.
Yeah, let's have some fun after the CMC pick, right? Like, let's get some fun upside, guys.
It's not that I don't think Tedderell McMillan's a good player. Bryce, why does it have to be such a struggle to throw for 3,000 yards? You know?
Why can't you throw for 200 yards in a game, Bryce?
That's all I'm saying. So, and look, Bryce has flashed, and maybe it was funny. I was talking with Sam Holt and Jagger today. We did a show, and we were kind of talking Stroud versus Bryce, and Sam brought up a good point where she was saying, Bryce recently, he's in the rookie year, Stroud versus Bryce wasn't even close, but it's been Stroud going downhill and Bryce coming up, and they're starting to get, pretty close really with where they are here entering year 4. So maybe Bryce keeps on ascending. It's still not exactly a juggernaut offense though, in terms of the playmakers, the offensive line's being banged up. Maybe it Brad Idzik is taking over, and every play caller who takes over is going to be awesome because it's August and we have to, do that whole thing. But I don't know, man. It's just Panthers, Jets, and Cardinals. If I don't have to draft them, I'd just rather not.
Yeah, I think they have the 4th worst win total. I think they're favored in 4 games right now. The offensive line, they already have had a bunch of injuries this offseason. They've lost starters and potential starters that have shaken up the offense. And listen, this is a make or break year for Bryce Young. Like, he's on the 5th-year option, and this head coach has already benched him once when there was a lot more meat on the bone. Like,
if Andy Dalton didn't get in that car wreck, Reeves, who's to say if Bryce Young is even still on the Panthers?
Yeah, I mean, who's to say that he just doesn't give him a couple months and says like, dude, like I'm just ready to move on. Like,
hey, we got Super Bowl champion Kenny Pickett waiting in the wings here, No,
we're gonna get Haynes King to run around, man.
Oh my God. Are you Jack Strand curious?
I mean, just what it just reinforces how good of a coach I actually still believe Mike McDaniel is. Because think about this, the last 3 years, I brought this stat up before, and people are probably sick of it, but Tua's had a higher touchdown rate than Patrick Mahomes each of the past 3 years. Like,
and even in Tua's prime, it's just like, all right, you can see so clearly Tyreek and McDaniel doing it. He plays some good football. I don't want to completely trash the guy, but my God. Tedderell McMillan, Christian Watson, rounding out round 4. We did get Josh Jacobs to go 1 pick after us.
Basically at ADP, like no discount in this draft. Like he went where he's been going.
Dude, I think that guy probably could have waited until round 5 if he really wanted to do that. I don't know. I see why. He started off Puka, AJB, and Devontae Smith.
But you could have taken. You could have taken. Let me ask you this: how far away? Let's assume Josh Jacobs is like fully in the whole year. How far away do you still think he is from like David Montgomery?
I think he's closer to Javonte Williams because I'm a believer in the Packers offense.
I would view them as like the nesting doll, like the Josh Jacobs into Javonte into David Montgomery. So like, why not take one of the guys with just no questions?
Yeah, I hear you there. Are you buying this 50-50 split with DeMont and Woody?
No.
Wow, no with the laugh.
No, I mean, I think Woody Marks is a fine like player to come in, but like I think David Montgomery's still good at football. Anytime he played last year, he was still good. He's in a scheme fit. I think he's like Joe Mixon a couple years ago. He can come in and just have a high workload on a team that has a great defense, put him in position to score touchdowns and grind away touches, right?
That Joe Mixon year, he had some off the field stuff going on before he ended up actually playing and doing good. So we'll see what happens with Josh Jacobs.
I was kind of hoping
not
for
on this
J-Mo.
team though. Yeah. J-Mo's one of those guys, man, where I haven't been drafting a lot of them. And then I look at it, I'm like, why haven't I been drafted more? He's a fade that scares the crap out of me.
Yeah, I mean, we just know where the ceiling lies. An electric player, like, and everyone's telling you about the Lions and your schedule and all the indoor games and.
Yep. I think you gave me that stat at first. I've been just relentlessly stealing it ever since.
Hey, that's
but
fair, man. That's fair.
First true outdoor game, week 17, and even then, man, it's one of those week 18 blind spots. But Goff threw for over 300 in Chicago, week 18 last year. Like, it's possible.
Yeah, I mean, Goff is like the firewall. You can keep punting quarterback and still get Goff, and I think it's fine. Like the opening 6 weeks for him are awesome. Largely, the whole season looks good for him.
Okay, what wide receivers do you have in the rest of this tier? There goes Quinshon Judkins. I have it Parker Washington, Devontae Adams, Mike Evans, Terry McLaurin, Rome Odunze.
Yep, that's the same bucket I have. I mean, we already took CMC. Obviously, Mike Evans is dealing with stuff. So do we want to deal with two 49ers dudes that are dealing with all those things?
No.
Yeah, so we have Terry McLaurin. I have David Montgomery is like one of the better players that are available. We don't really need him.
Are you in on Parker Washington? The dude he's got 2 1s on his number. That's how good he is.
And he's got the chopped wood tattoo.
Carry water.
This is also a spot where we could probably push LaPorta, but like this is a spot too. I'd be looking at LaPorta.
I'm fine. I want to get one more wide receiver.
Let's do a receiver. You're right. Let's do wide receiver.
You cool with Parker?
Yeah, let's do it.
Parker fucking Washington. Let's go. Let's go, Reeves.
We had all the fun upside guys.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
Look back when we're 1-5 in October. It's like, oh yeah, maybe round 4 Luther Burden and round 5 Parker Washington.
But I do think
not quite as good in hindsight.
I do think the way the opening 2 months sets up for the Jaguars, it sets up for Parker Washington the best.
Yup.
Because
BTJ.
Yeah, I mean we've talked about it. BTJ is going to be primary X now. I mean they open Denzel Ward, Patrick Surtain, Christian Gonzalez, DJ Turner, Quinyon Mitchell, Derek Stingley, bye week Sauce Gardner. Like, that's a tough gauntlet for the X receiver. Like, that's a real tough run. And
I'll say too, man.
So,
yeah, just real quick on the Travis Hunter stuff, because I was more interested in him earlier this offseason. Finding out that he's only basically running as BTJ's backup. I mean, to me, that's just such better news for Parker Washington too.
Yeah, there's that one account, and I apologize for not knowing that the handle off the top of my head has literally done a daily snap count of Travis Hunter playing offense and defense. And it's like 3 times as high on defense than as an offense. And it makes sense when you look at their roster. They're strong at wide receiver, and they're really weak at cornerback. Like, it's as simple as that, right? Like, is it not just as simple as that?
Exactly, man. It always just made sense from a depth chart perspective to kind of connect the dots that way. So, we'll live and learn, maybe not draft a cornerback as often next season. So I will take the early L on that, but we'll see what happens. Get a couple spike weeks.
No, I think there will still be a spot. I really like that he's gotten a lot stronger this offseason. And granted, he had a leg injury, so all he could do is lift weights. But, because I do think down the line, like their wide receiver room won't be as strong as this is. And there will be other opportunities down the line for him to play more wide receiver. It just 2026 sets up for him to play more defense.
Through 5 rounds, Christian McCaffrey, Omarion Hampton to fill out the RB room, Jaylen Waddle, Luther Burden, and Parker Washington. Just taking the first team all hype wide receiver group for this squad. I'm feeling pretty good, Reeves. Again, this is tight end premium, so we are going to be taking a long look at one of Pitts, Fenton, or LaPorta if they happen to make it back to us. But that would be the one spot that I would say we're, pushing the envelope a little bit. So we'll see if we can get there. I'm fine being the last team to get a quarterback. In fact, I prefer it.
Oh, yeah. And the great thing about these, like I said, transitioning from best ball to manage is the quarterbacks are way more spread out than they are in a best ball where you have like that tidal wave of everyone trying to get their stacks, get their backup, align all those things. You don't have to do that here. You can draft 1. You can take 2 if you need to. Most teams still will take 2. You'll get a couple 3s here. But you can absolutely wait more like you would in a regular league, which I love.
Devontae Adams off the board. Reeves, you've been writing some freaking banger articles all the time, but I was reading your wide receiver tiers piece, and you had Adams, Evans. I know those two were really high for you. I think Terry might have been as well, but it was pre-Diggs situation.
And
You holding
Tunsil.
firm on that? You holding firm though with Evans and Adams top 20?
Yeah, because I still think when you look at the run out, like because I think again you price in the risk with these guys. You understand what you're buying, but I have them in the same tier of like if the season goes well for these guys with T Higgins, right? Like and almost George Pickens. I have those guys higher than Evans and Adams, but these are guys that could theoretically score 10, 12 touchdowns and be in that range, just get by on touchdown production. And, in terms of Evans, he could just outright be the team wide receiver one. So, I think from an upside stance, but you have to price in still the risk with these guys. I have them lower in rankings than my tiers, but I always structure my tiers based on where you can get potential arbitrage, right? Like player archetypes. And I think from an archetype stance, they are very adjacent to a T Higgins and a George Pickens.
I mean, with Adams, I remember kind of digging into the Rams when I do my team previews, and I was just expecting to see this ridiculous, efficient touchdown end zone target rate, and it really wasn't, man. He had 10 more end zone targets than the next closest dude, so he went 50-50 on him, and that was fine. So really just was, again, the Rams, they threw the ball more inside the 5 or 10 yard line they had previously, but it wasn't super egregious. They just focused so much of it on Devontae Adams. So are you at all worried about the Puka suspension? I saw some people saying that Tutu being traded there could be a sign about the Puka. I'm not buying that part, but Schefter did throw Puka's name in there, and I do wonder if he can get docked a game or two or something.
I mean, it would be great if he got docked a game or two and he fell to like the back of the round one.
Right.
That would be
He was falling last year with the Stafford back issue going on.
Yeah, like I said, suspensions tend to get overrated. I mean, I did a whole study on like guys that get suspended that are good players, like almost always are values. We had like a Julian Edelman year where he had the PEDs and then was awesome when he came back. Rashee Rice was operating as a wide receiver one until he came back and then he got hurt and Mahomes got hurt again. There was a Mark Ingram year. There was a Steve Smith year. And like all these guys got docked too much just because gamers don't understand replace value. Like you're not taking zeros for these guys, even in managed leagues.
Le'Veon too.
Yeah, there's a Le'Veon year. So there's a lot. Like I said, the one thing with Jacobs, though, is that the November trial, I'm curious to see if Drew brings that up when he has his what. Because we're all anticipating like some 30 tweet thread from Drew.
We appreciate that for him. But no, man, that's why I kind of threw it out there earlier. The Zeke suspension happened mid-season, and that was just devastating.
Yeah, you were cooked. He was good into that point. It wasn't quite as good as he had been in his career, but like was operating as a potential value. Because remember, we were doing drafts that year. Like he was going like the second round in some drafts, and then you got loosey with the football when it was crunch time.
God, Zeke, it was 2 years of him having breakaway speed, and then it was just gone.
Yeah, I mean, peak Zeke was incredible though.
Special.
Great aesthetic. He was the last dude with his midriff out. Like, just out here.
Feed me. Carnell Tate off the board. This is pretty much like the teardrop at wide receiver, guys. Again, Marvin Harrison Jr., Chris Godwin, BTJ, QJ. Those are the top guys I have. We got the Jaden Reeds, Josh Downs, Matthew Golden as well. I'm not saying they won't hit or not none of them can or anything like that. Just a little tough to feel great about it. I have found myself clicking Marv around this range, Reeves, because I'm trying to just get my wide receivers. I don't want to say I feel great about it, but I do think, man, if Marv would have been able to play with Jacoby down the stretch of last year, I'm not saying he would have had Michael Wilson's wide receiver 2, in the last 9-week finish or anything, but if Marv just puts up like upside wide receiver 2 numbers, which I think was realistic, I mean, you could argue he'd be going around 4 or 5 pretty consistently,
I think there was absolute tangible evidence he was going to be good in that same situation because when Brissett took over, he got a concussion the first game. Brissett took over the Colts game. Then he came back, played in a short week, but then he cooked Dallas. If everyone remembers, he had the Deron
put Bland
play.
In the dirt. Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb was going crazy. Then he had the appendectomy. And then when he came back from the appendectomy, I think he had 6 for 70 in the first half against the Buccaneers and then hurt his ankle. And then he played like 80 snaps the rest of the season. So like it just was a terrible run out, man, for him. But like there's another universe where he gets that same opportunity that Michael Wilson had, and it looks a lot better, and we have almost a different narrative for him.
That Thursday night Seahawks game in the first half was one of the worst 30 minutes of football I've seen from a wide receiver off the top of my head in a long, long time. And then the second Seahawks game was another one where it's like caught 3 or 4 of 11 targets. Like
Oh, they
For
got
someone
flooded
who's,
that game.
I know, man. For someone who's so jacked, it's like, come on, man, go up there and get it. Use some of that muscle, but at the same time, again, maybe putting a little bit too much weight in a couple bad games. Certainly did have some flashes, and I know, guys, he is Marvin Harrison Jr., but I will push back on the idea that if he didn't have that name, he still would have been a freaking high-end first-round pick. Give me a break on that. George Kittle off the board. We are one away. We're recording this, Reeves, which is great because we don't have to worry about getting sniped. But yeah, I really hope Sam LaPorta is there. But I worry that now that I said that, the fantasy guys are going to punish us.
Yeah, this would be the spot because I already said like we talked about that wide receiver cutoff. I typically like to have 4 of those guys, and we got boxed out. We only got 3 of that group. So we are at a cutoff here, so I don't mind like kind of pivoting off and saying like I would like another receiver, but I don't think any of the receivers we have in this range are like guys we necessarily have to push either.
I'm fine getting someone round 7 from this group,
Yeah. And then running back also, we hit a firewall because Jadarian Price went before us, and he's always kind of the firewall at running back.
I was looking at Price. All right, Sam LaPorta, feeling good?
Yeah, let's do LaPorta.
Bang.
I always like to get a Lion in every draft, and I try to get a Packers pass catcher in every draft.
Yeah, man. No, I think I said last week, I was like, homework, everyone. Leave every single draft with at least one Packers wide receiver. That's been my only.
I can include Kraft, though, too, as the thing.
I love Christian Watson in round 6, but I will say sometimes it's like him versus Parker Washington. And I'm like, you know what? Give me Parker because then I love Jaden Reed and Golden, too. And I don't want 3 Packers wide receivers on one team or anything like that, but just something to think about there. With Kraft, man, I haven't been clicking them a ton. We got this stuff coming out now where Tucker Kraft 10 days ago tells us that he's probably going to be on a snap count until halfway through the season. And then yesterday goes, quote, I'm not doing the rep count stuff anymore. Did he just like corner the medical dude in the office? And he's like, I'm not doing any rep counts, man. And they said, You know what? You're right, Tucker. You're not doing any rep counts. At the same time, though, it was a little bit of a vague sort of statement anyway. Who's to say he's not just playing 80% of snaps instead of 90%? But what are your thoughts on Kraft?
Well, the Packers in general have been a notorious team. They are one of the more cautious injury teams. Like when guys are hurt, like they tend to play things safer. So they had this plan for him probably in place, and they told him that, and so he just relayed probably that information. And then also he's probably telling them like I feel great, and like so he's saying like, hey, I'm gonna push this to where you need me to play, and they do need him to play because he's awesome in the run game. He's great in the red zone. They had really crazy splits with him on and off the field just because he's one of these 2-way tight ends that's really, really awesome. So I think if he's fully healthy, he'll just be playing. I think it just depends on how good he is to go. And these guys, what we forget, we still have like 2 full weeks, almost 3 full weeks till these guys even play on Sundays. I know NFL kickoff is shorter because it's a Wednesday game, but the first Sunday is still 2 Sundays from this Sunday.
That extra week after the preseason games are over is just brutal because then we also don't get any updates on the injuries coming out.
Right. And that's why I wasn't trying not to really punish guys like Hall and Love too greatly because it's like, dude, they have a full month to like.
Yeah. That's so true.
Yeah.
All right, guys, through 6 rounds. Again, started off CMC and Omarion Hampton. Got 3 wide receivers after that, and Waddle, Burden, and Parker Washington. Then Sam LaPorta in round 6. He was actually the, 5th, 9th tight end off the board. I know he had the hip thing, but he came back. We're good. We're healthy.
Yeah, and everyone talked about it. It was just a hit. It was a contusion. So, again, everyone running for their lives.
Bro, Olave got the wind knocked out of him, and it was a story.
We've lost the plot a little bit this summer because again, like teams are gonna be cautious with guys because it's practice, and everyone's coming back. It's a ramp up period. Everyone has done the sports science side of this, where they understand there's gonna be soft tissue stuff, getting guys off of training and into back to full game speed and shape. We expect these things to happen, and we want our teams to be cautious with these guys at this period.
My top wide receiver I have is Chris Godwin, and then I have the 2 Steelers running backs as my top dudes over there. There goes Rico Dowdle. I am Dowdle over Warren, but I think they both just could smash.
We took Warren last night. The rest of the crew was more Warren, and I don't know, I'm so far away a point like I was going to sword and shield it. I have Dowdle a little bit higher because I think Dowdle scores more touchdowns, but I do think both guys are going to be largely interchangeable, and they're both going to catch passes.
Yep. old man Rodgers just wants to check it down. I don't blame him. I'd probably do the same thing if I was
100%.
42 years old. So, yeah, I just think McCarthy likes Dowdle. And I've heard the whole Warren can do the goal line stuff. I agree with that. I just think Dowdle can also do the pass game stuff. They're both, and that's what makes them good, man. If Dowdle goes down, Warren to the moon. If Warren goes down, Dowdle to the moon. I think they're probably going to be borderline RB2s if everyone stays healthy the whole time. So
I would
Warren
rather
would
have
be,
either Steeler running back than either Panther running back, though.
yeah. Dude, the Brooks team, I mean, God. Chuba's
He's
not
another
dead.
guy like Stribling. I was getting it just so cheap where I'm like, I don't need to chase this up the board.
Yeah, 100%. So, again, it's great Brooks came back, and it's useful to know that he's so far ahead of Trevor Etienne coming in, because that was a question. Like, if it would have been 50-50 without Chuba, that would have been problematic. We are on the clock, though. Drake May, Brian Thomas off the board. So, Warren, or is there a wide receiver you like?
Well, Warren's gone, right? Yeah, he went.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
I'll get my push-ups in after
he
this.
usually goes ahead of Dowdle. I have Jayden Reed the highest, but I don't have Godwin too far off. He's just like a younger version probably of Godwin.
Yeah, that's true, honestly.
I'm cool with that if you want to push, because sometimes the Packers guys make it back. And if you take Reed, sometimes you don't take Golden because Golden hangs out on the board. We might be able to catch like a QJ coming back who would fit this roster actually pretty decently, a Concepcion. So, I mean, I'm fine taking an old if you want.
Yeah, it looks like, dude, I have Goblin at pick 73. ADP, Reed goes at 100. So you cool going Goblin?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Chris Goblin, come on down. Someone that my guy, Mr. Dwayne McFarland, is all over this year. So
yeah, I saw him doing a little push here. Like I said, the Packers, I think, are just going to throw more anyways. Even when you don't count for the Jacob stuff, their offensive line is not as good as it was, at the start of 2 years ago. They really struggled with injuries last year. They didn't really replace a lot of guys. I think Brandon Thorne has them pretty low in his rankings too. We had them pretty low in our group rankings. The defense, we don't know what Micah Parsons is going to look like. Micah Parsons, the defense looks a little bit worse on paper. I think they're going to have to throw a little bit more. And then the wide receivers are just be more condensed. I think they're going to be a lot more 11 personnel team. They added Jonnu today, so maybe they're going to do, keep him involved. But I think they're going to be a tighter wide receiver split team, and it sets up better for like the Jayden Reed, Golden, Watson guys to be values this year.
I was trying to figure out, because all these NFL players are going back to play college football, and I was like, could I get something there with Jonnu going to Ohio State and Artie, and just wasn't quite feeling
just with
it.
Arthur Smith.
Right. So Blake Corum off the board next. Tony Pollard, J.K. Dobbins. I have them ranked higher, but I will say, all right, better question. You mentioned you got the Steelers over the Carolina Panthers running backs. Where do you stand with the Washington guys? Take over for 10 seconds. I got my push-ups in for unfortunately suggesting a player who was already picked.
Oh, yeah. Listen, you got to follow the rules. And, you did those push-ups in Canton. We were drafted next to each other. But I have no problem taking kind of a buckshot approach with the Washington guys. JCM or Rashad White. The Tunsil injury, I think, puts a real wet blanket, though, on just about everything. Like, Tunsil being out, I think, changes the dynamic of this entire offense, because they were a team that was planning to run a lot more under center stuff and play action. And I don't even know how much of that's going to be, like, on the table, because by all accounts, and they're missing two other offensive linemen right now that they're expected to get back by week 1. But by all accounts, like, they've just been awful in these joint practices. Like, they're just getting absolutely crushed up front. And it's a little bit concerning because their opening schedule is horrendous. Like, and I know you hate me for always bringing up this schedule stuff. But
no, you're okay. But when it's at the extremes, it's relevant for sure.
Right. And like, they open up at Philadelphia, at Dallas, then Seattle. This is a team I feel like if they're going to be good, it's going to be like last year's Jaguars, where it's a slow start and then they're better the back half of the year when they have like some calibration. Because I think it's going to be a struggle the front half with this Tunsil injury. I'm just very nervous.
Definitely doesn't.
But they're fine. They're cheap.
I know one of the cool tweets I see from you every year is like what percentage snaps did every offensive line actually have all 5 of their starters together?
That's me. Those are my tweets.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm complimenting you for it. And weren't the Chargers at like 15% last year or something?
Yeah, last year 15%. The Saints have had like 3 years. We pick on the Chargers because everyone stands them. The Saints have had 3 years in a row where they're like a bottom 5 team. It like feels unbelievable that like you could run this cold in terms of like offensive line health. But 3 years in a row, the Saints have been horrendous. And the Bills are the opposite. The Bills have been like top 5. It's like they keep like one of these years they're gonna have some dudes get hurt. I hope not. Knocking on it. I don't want this to happen. But the Bills have like been top top 5 like 4 years in a row. And it's like, wow, they've been super lucky.
I will say Travis Etienne with the Kamara injury. Not that maybe Kamara wouldn't have mattered in the first place, but hey, certainly helps. And then Bucky Irving too, man. Like Sean Tucker apparently being on the roster bubble. I don't think Josh Williams is going to be taking that same role. It's just like clockwork, Reeves. I suggest, potential fades the beginning of August. And then I wind up looking back on it and saying, what the hell was I thinking?
Hey, you adjust your priors, man. You adjust the new information. That's what we do. You have to kind of adjust it. And I think the Sean Tucker stuff was the writing was on the wall. I thought like this, they didn't originally tender him. They were going to let him walk. Then they kind of in the 11th hour, like, all right, we will tender you. They signed Kenneth Gainwell like immediately when free agency opened. I thought it was always going to be goal line or bust for him. And I wasn't even that sure, like the team even believed in him that much. So I thought that one had a little bit of writing on the wall.
At least one very wonky build going on. Again, teammate Amon-Ra St. Brown going hero wide receiver. Amon-Ra, then they got Trey McBride, Tyler Warren, DeAndre Swift, Dave Montgomery, Jadarian Price, Kenneth Gainwell. If there is a format to do it, it's tight end premium with 2 wide receivers. We'll see how it works out.
You only have to start 2 receivers every week, and you got an anchor and Amon-Ra. I would say I would argue Gainwell wasn't a need for them at any level, but you
got a little cocky with the Gainwell pick.
Yeah, definitely could have. There are receivers still I think that are pretty solid upside bets or even floor bets. Like that team could have added like a perfectly cromulent like Wan'Dale Robinson and been okay, but definitely still in like the upside case for QJ is still there. I like Concepcion. I don't know where you are on Concepcion.
Oh yeah, love him.
Matthew Golden is a guy I think there's an upside case to be made. Like we talk about the Packers guys. If you believe in the Michael Wilson back half, he's still out there.
I have Golden and KC as like 2 of the go-to quote unquote sleeper options who are kind of like going outside the top 50 in some of the home league sites. So Jaden Reed's still hanging out there.
Oh, and I didn't even mention that Jaden Reed is still there, who I had, the highest guy we picked last time for receiver, right? That is.
Hey, it happened last time with LaPorta coming back to us. Jordan Mason off the board. Got a little mixed up there. Through 7 rounds, though, CMC, Hampton, Waddle, Burden, Parker, Washington. Tacked on Chris Godwin as our wide receiver 4, Sam LaPorta as our tight end 1. I'm feeling pretty good, Reeves. And do I say that every time I draft in August because you want to have that optimism? Yeah, maybe. But objectively, though, I think I like the squad.
Yeah, it's got that right blend of – because, listen, it all starts at the top, right? Like if we get Christian McCaffrey – because remember last year, he wasn't even that efficient. Like his median is so high. If he just doesn't get hurt, which I guess you price in, that's fine. But if he's fine, like this is we're in really good shape here, regardless.
I mean, wouldn't it make sense if the running back who can catch 100 passes and no one's surprised ages a little more gracefully? Right.
Like he was just under 4 yards per carry. I will say his rushing was better when they had Kittle in the back half of the year. Mm-hmm. He ran better. So the fact that Kittle's ahead of schedule, I think, is actually good for him.
Yeah.
Because you want Kittle on the field. But the fact that he was still to be so dominant in fantasy football with just being kind of like a mediocre to really subpar runner is a testament to just like how valuable receptions are, receiving work is. And the 49ers still have no like real threat to like get him off the field. I know Kyle Shanahan every year talks about reducing his touches, but he can't help himself, man. Like this is a team trying to win a Super Bowl.
Kalen Black looked fine. I mean, he is the preferred handcuff and everything. I know Jordan James was going out there tonight, so he apparently is healthy enough to maybe.
And Devo's probably going to get 25 to 40 runs.
Yeah. I didn't see a follow-up with it. I thought I saw like they were even using like Jalen Watkins ahead of Devo in practice.
He's supposedly been practicing more at wide back. They call it the web back.
Okay.
That they're calling practicing more as that. And then he's been their kick returner. He's going to be their kick returner.
Okay. That was like the early 2000 Buckeyes. They put Teddy Ginn out there like just 5 yards back, but also like behind the tight end. They call it the shot Ginn. Good times there. Guys, next time you're drunk on a Friday night watching highlights, just do me a favor and watch some Ohio State Ted Ginn. That dude was shot out of a cannon. Oh my God. Devin, just the ultimate one catch, 40 yards touchdown.
Dude had 930 yards and 12 touchdowns on 33 receptions. Like the most ludicrous season.
We are one pick away. I have Quentin Johnston, Jaden Reed, Stephon Diggs as my top wide receivers. Mentioned Golden and Casey Concepcion there as well.
We have a lot of like PPR type dudes. I would lean QJ here just for like maybe the touchdown equity stuff. And then he is a rugged after the catch football player. And by all accounts, he's going to get all of these near the line of scrimmage targets in this offense.
I haven't heard a great reason yet for why he was a low end wide receiver too last year. And he got hurt, man. He had the hamstring and the groin.
And Reed goes before us. That makes it easy for us anyways.
Dude, QJ, we good?
Yeah. His first 8 games last year before his injury and Alt's injury, he was a top 30 scorer in 6 of the opening 8 games. Like, he wasn't boom or bust. Like, he had a usable floor. He wasn't this volatile option. And then everyone on the offense fell apart the final 8 weeks. Like, there wasn't one player that survived the final 10 games on that offense.
The drop stuff hasn't been nearly as big of an issue since year one. Like, if you're going to hold it, it's that thing, man. We did it with Will Fuller as well. It's just in Deontay Johnson. There's certain players where we hold drops against and we just don't even consider it for half the other, part of the league. So QJ at this point in time, man, it's so funny too what we choose to actually be excited about. Mike McDaniel talks about how Omarion Hampton reminds him of Terrell Davis and everyone's going nuts. We got an Andre Johnson comp for Quentin Johnston earlier this offseason, man. Which is crazy. I get it, but Mike McDaniel likes the guy.
The thing I like here about QJ here in this spot is we didn't draft him as a starter, and we kind of have some guys that are maybe like more volatile wide receiver picks, but we also have enough guys to throw at the position still too.
Yeah, I agree with that. QJ as your wide receiver 5 feels better than as your wide receiver 3.
Yes, 100%.
Jordan Tyson off the board. Had him down there a little bit. I guess we haven't gotten exactly, like we're kind of trying to piece together the Tyson news. When do we find out if these guys are starting the season on IR? Is that this Sunday?
No, right? We still have another week.
It's going to be the Sunday before.
Tyson's definitely going to be on the PUP though.
Yeah.
Because of his history, like they're just going to have to play it cautious with him.
Drafted that dude in so many freaking teams. Sad.
Well, is he wide receiver 42 here? I think that's probably still a little high.
I got him.
Unfortunately,
51. I got him basically right after all the wide receivers I'd feel good about. And Alec Pierce is wide receiver 50, which is a little bit insulting. I'm probably being a little bit of a dick there.
We still, and this is what we talk about. There's only 4 QBs off the board still going into round 9. It feels so good. It just feels so good.
Right. I mean, Lamar in round 6, it's Lamar Jackson. It could happen, but let's just keep pushing it. Everyone, keep pushing it. Isn't this fun, Reeves? Look, live drafts are fun and everything, but I know when I've done it with Theo and Dwayne, and Theo and I are debating a pick, and he goes, 3 guys I'm between right now. And he starts like trying to like kind of faintly describe them. It's like, no, we can actually just say the name of the person. I like it.
Yeah, when this isn't live, there's no stream snipe here because it's not, you're recording this, so we don't have to worry about it.
Would you ever do that if you were drafting? Would you try to find the stream?
I don't know, but I imagine people do, though. It happens.
Yeah, it does happen. Entering round 9, Michael Wilson off the board. Are you buying that Wilson could repeat?
Do me a favor and scroll down on the screen here.
Oh, good call.
So we can see the some of these picks. Even though I am logged in, I guess I could actually pull up the draft board myself.
Oh, you're good.
I'm just using the StreamYard. I'm looking at you in the screen.
All right, Jawan Johnson off the board.
Yeah, he's made a climb, and we're at the point, too. Terrence Ferguson's probably going to go in this round or the next as well.
I'm surprised Andrews hasn't gone, but then again, I saw that route, and it was miserable. Okay, there goes Alec Pierce. We are on the clock. Is there a running back you're interested in? It's
real thin. Who are your high guys?
What we say about Packers wide receivers?
Yep. Yeah, we do have Golden available. We have Concepcion or Golden. I think we could take Concepcion or Golden and be done largely at wide receiver, or maybe mix in one more guy. But I think let's take one of those guys and then just we don't have to really worry about receiver the rest of the way. I'm
cool with that. I love KC.
Do Golden because we talked about always taking a Packers. Let's follow our.
I have Golden ranked 1 spot higher because it's the Packers versus the Browns. Let's not overthink that. Matthew Golden, come on down.
I like it, and that gives us, like I said, because we took some more guys built with a little bit of helium that we believe could hit their ceiling, but also this gives us outs throughout. Like we've got a couple bench options here. We can rotate guys because this is a managed league. So we're going to be able to play some matchups, or if a guy gets hurt or just isn't playing well, rotate guys. We're probably going to not take a receiver for a little bit, and that's fine because we're basically at the end of this usable receivers anyways.
We'll probably take another one at some point, but if we don't, that's okay.
Yeah, oh yeah, we'll probably add at least one more, but I'm just saying we're going to hit this wall where it's just the heart of darkness.
That was I have my ultimate fantasy football draft guide out there on rotowire.com. If you guys want to check that out. If you have a sub, thank you. If you don't, Ian 35% off. How about them apples? But I'll just bring up the point out, particularly in managed leagues, it's fine to, if you have, I don't know, 12. What was my example? Like if you're in a 16 round draft and you have 8 running backs and 5 or 6 wide receivers, like that's fine. Especially in home leagues, we can always find, if you need a wide receiver 5 or 6, there'll be one out there on the waiver wire. But have those lottery ticket handcuffs, man, over these, just jags that are going to be going off the board late.
For this particular roster construction too, it made more sense to throw more ammunition at the wide receiver spot because we're not chasing any position. We already have our tight end, and we already have our RB2. So it's not even, we didn't even go anchor where we're going to be just throwing like buckshotting RB2. We're not.
Yep.
So I like the idea of just trying to get more coals in the fire at receiver here. And then we can just start throwing, because all these running backs are going to be bench spots for us. Like we don't have to start a J.K. Dobbins. We don't have to start a Keaton Mitchell, but we can add those guys as bench guys for when we need them for buys and injuries and other things.
I have Dobbins, White, Chuba, C-Rod, and Mitchell. That's my next running back. So Aaron Jones too, but God, it's just, I yearn for the days when it used to be fun to draft Aaron Jones.
Still, I mean, he follows all of us on Twitter. It's always been fun. He's always one of those dudes as a prospect. There goes Dobbins.
I love the Mama Jackson, D Jackson's mom. You ever get interaction with her on Twitter? She's like, "Oh, thanks for the kind words," and she'd sign it like Mama Jackson.
I'm surprised that we haven't seen. Oh no, Michael Wilson did go. I was like, oh, I missed him. All right, so Michael Wilson didn't go either.
No push-ups because we're not on the clock. To be clear,
that's right.
It's okay. Yeah, we were about to get on the clock, but I was asking you, like, are you holding a candle, keeping a candle lit, I should say, for Michael Wilson? I mean, there was one game against the Niners where it was like, all right, they're playing 15 yards off, and he just caught like 5 straight 7-yard curls. Like some of it was garbage time induced. And I remember running the amount of fantasy points he did score, like in the second half, down 3+ scores. It was a record for like the last 10 or so years. But when you go back and watch the guy, he was making plays.
Yeah, I always liked him when he just wanted to see him get opportunity, and he at least did proof of concept on that. Like, all right, the dude can play. I felt that way about Parker Washington. I had Parker Washington in that big 50-team college league that we did. Yeah. And I was like, man, this dude's like good. Like their quarterback play was really bad at the time because that was even before Aller was there. I forget who their quarterback was that year. And I was like, man, this dude can play. I believe he can play, and just never had an opportunity. He was buried in Jacksonville. So it was nice to see him.
Is it Sean Clifford, the big red dog?
Yeah, that's who it was. I was like, oh, man, I think Parker Washington's pretty good at football, but just was buried. So yeah, sometimes you just need the opportunity, but I kind of am operating on like a loose no Cardinals policy.
Yeah, there we go.
They're just not going to have the same layout as last year where these guys were running 600 to 700 routes, right? Like it's just, I know they're not going to be a good team, but they're going to be a lot more balanced. The offensive line's better. They've, signed Tyler Algier in free agency open. They draft Jeremiah Lovett, pick 3. They're just going to play more rock fights this year than even while they're losing. And then like, how long does Brissett last? When do we see Carson back? There's just a lot of variables with the Cardinals where I'm just like, I'm going to let someone else deal with most of these guys.
And that's the concern with the Jets too, man. I just think it's a matter of when, not if, it's going to be Cade Klubnik under center. And maybe Cade's going to be fine. Him and Beck and Aller and a lot of these guys, they were formally in the next year's way too early first round conversation. It just didn't work out for them for one reason or another. Same with Garrett Nussmeier, by the way, putting some throws on film out there in the second half of some of these preseason games. So definitely a gamer. So entering round 10, hilarious how far we've come, Reeves. I know it's tight end premium, but the fact that Terrence Ferguson is calling to me in round 10, sign of the times.
I love him in this particular format because there's an argument you can make for yourself that the back half of the year, like he's he's going hard, man. Like,
Yeah.
especially if there's an injury to one of these receivers, he could just outright be playing like as their third wide receiver, but they're calling it 12 and 13 personnel, but like he's not playing any tight end.
'Cause that's kind of what happened last year, right? Like he saw his snap spike when Devontae Adams was out.
Yeah, and his ADOT was like 17 yards downfield.
Ridiculous.
Like,
And
he usually goes
I feel like
in
a
this
tight
range.
end, man. If you can work downfield, I'm not worried about the underneath stuff. This is a big dude. It's not like he's some, I don't think him and Arondé Gadsden are similar. I think Ferguson can actually play inline tight end.
Yeah, listen, you got to twist my arm if you like him in this spot.
I mean, if these running backs fly off, I'd feel better about it.
Yeah, we lost Dobbins and Rodriguez in that span.
We've had some quarterbacks go off the board as well. Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, and Caleb Williams. We have, there goes Marshawn Lloyd. Yeah, he would have been in play there too, honestly. We have 2 teams at the turn for QB. I'm fine pushing it. We don't need a QB. Come on.
No, we got tons of options. What are our stacking options here? We do have
T-Law for Parker, but man, that schedule is rough. Baker down the stretch, Jordan Love down the stretch.
Jordan Love is
Bo
definitely
Nix.
in play. Yeah,
Bo Nix could be fun. Yeah, we got some good options. Even CMC and Purdy, bro.
Oh, we do have Purdy, yeah, as well. Oh, I love Purdy too. Yeah, Packers.
I'm always surprised to see Purdy the one falling so far every time. People just don't respect him.
Especially he was so good that down the stretch last year too for fantasy, and that's usually what gamers hold into their hearts the most, of like the most recent thing that we saw. Yeah,
He's never been bad.
Love, you need a guy to play week 1, but after week 1, Love plays Jets, Falcons, Buccaneers, Bears, Cowboys, Lions, Panthers, like in a row, which could be pretty good.
Chickaconquo goes. Yeah, we're gonna have a running back here.
Where are you at? You looking at White, Hubbard?
I got White at the top. I mean, the fact he's going this far after, I think he could be Austin Eckler plus catch 50 passes. Wouldn't it be the most shocking thing? What are your thoughts? If we don't draft Rashad White or Chuba Hubbard, I'm not going to freaking.
Dude, I literally have Chuba Hubbard 33 and Rashad White 34.
Yeah, I have him 35, 36. Hopefully this guy drafts one. They just make it easy on us. Do you think we need a running back here over a T. Ferg or over a quarterback? I think we're fine pushing QB.
I would personally just take Terrence Ferguson and have the fun upside play. Because like we're not starting either of these running backs unless we have to.
That's true.
And if there's really not a difference between them, like I think Terrence Ferguson has more upside than every tight end left for us to take. Ah,
making us pick Rashad White or freaking Chuba Hubbard.
In my heart. Right in my heart. Oh.
That hurt. I was so with you too. I was convinced.
Yeah, like of all the tight ends left, like especially not even need him as a starter, like I was just like, yeah, let's swing the hammer.
Oh man.
I put it in your hands here. I default to you between Hubbard and White. I guess for this particular, I would lean White for the receiving stuff, but it's whatever. It's not Terrence Ferguson.
Definitely not Terrence Ferguson. Let's go with Rashad White. Cool.
Yeah, and he's coming back on the practice field, so looks like he's over his little hammy stuff.
He should be fun. And I mean, I understand they're throwing Bill the ball in practice. Guess what? They throw the ball to every running back. It's practice, okay? These things happen. But White, I just think is...
Well, White's been a really good pass protector the past 2 years, and that just might, with the tonsil injury, be a de facto gets him on the field.
Like, couldn't you see, and we were talking about the Commanders just sucking. Commanders are horrible this year, but Rashad White catches 55, 58 passes, and like it's just like, oh man, RB24, Rashad White. Who would have thought?
100%. Yeah, that I'm still trying to get over the Terrence Ferguson pick.
I know.
Trying to cope.
That one hurt.
Cope with that.
That was the first. It took until round 10 for us to not get the guy we wanted. That's
true. That is true. And we got Hampton way below ADP in round 2, so I don't know, like what is.
But man, could have had Terrence Ferguson.
As just an ultimate luxury pick would have been fun.
I know. We were feeling it too. There goes Dak. And then guys, this is what you should be doing in your drafts too. And people will double up a QB. We know that. Mm-hmm. But just look between you and the turn. So if we push it again, Reeves, there's only 2 teams that need a quarterback, Team 6 and Team 12. Everyone else has one. I wouldn't be surprised if Team 2 takes one here. But we're going to have a potential chance, man, where it could be like Purdy, Dart, Nix, T-Law.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if all 4 of them are going to go. I'd be fine getting any of them back. We honestly have
100%.
We have stacks set up for T-Law, Purdy, and Nix, and Dart's just going to run so much potentially that we don't even really need to care about that sort of situation. So and then guess what? If we don't get them, I'm fine going to war with, Jared Goff and Jordan Love or whatever.
Right. I mean, listen, Dart, I have him in a super flex keeper league. It's my home league. And like, I get, even me being the Konami code guy, dude, you just have to, every game you just like, is this dude is he leaving the game in the second quarter? Like, I'm just like, it's so tilting. Like, it's so tilting, man. Like the Jackson Dart experience is you can't watch the game. It's not for the faint of heart.
Did you see him complaining in the press conference? He was like, I don't know why they keep sending me in there, like the freaking banana. Like, we're all trying to figure out who did this. Everyone.
Who did this? It is a tilting experience.
I do think he's pretty freaking good, man. I'm worried that
he's fun.
Matt Nagy's going to hurt it. But like, and again, it's probably aesthetically and just like watching quarterbacks run around and make some of the off script plays like he does. I'm probably putting a little too much stock behind it. Like I heard Kurt Warner, I love how Kurt Warner's always on Twitter, like actually being way too nice and rational for all of us monsters out there. But he was just talking about like, oh yeah, you guys want to highlight this crazy 10-second off script scramble when the real highlights is a quarterback. This guy's, figuring out the coverage before the snap, getting the ball out 1.5 seconds and keeping the team ahead of schedule. Like that's the stuff I worry about with Dart, but I think that you can learn that stuff easier than being a freaking demon off script like he is.
Right. We get our Brandon Aubrey pick in round 11.
Well, what's hilarious too is Aubrey. Wasn't he like kicker 3 last year? He wasn't even the highest scoring kicker.
Yeah, you do get this. We're gonna have some defenses too. The Rams and the Texans will probably come off the board in the next couple rounds as well.
I have Rams DS2-1 just because I don't think the offense is going to implode like Houston could. The best defense though, Reeves, at value. You're a schedule guy. You better know this.
Is it the Chargers? Or is it
first
just the
2
Jags?
weeks?
Are you just doing the Jags because of week 1?
No, I got the Ravens, bro. Those first 6 weeks.
Yeah, I like the Ravens a lot too. I have them high.
They could be like really good in real life too.
Another team I think is pretty good is the Steelers. I think their defense is really good.
Highest paid group in the league.
Yeah, they're a little old, but like they play the Browns twice in the opening 8 weeks. So like you get 2 Browns games.
We're OTC.
We're OTC. If you want to do Purdy, if you just want to do Purdy because he's the guy we're most confident in, I'm cool with that. If you want to wait, I'm good at that as well. If you want to do something fun like Keaton Mitchell, I'm cool with that. We do have Hampton. We do have Hampton though.
Just mentioning anyone other than Chuba Hubbard in round 11. It's kind of ridiculous.
Do you just want to take Hubbard? We were between Hubbard and White last time. Do you just double them up?
I feel like Chuba's like the Cortland Sutton of running backs. I never feel good taking him at a certain point.
Let's take him. It's round 11.
Chuba Hubbard. Come on.
We were between Hubbard and White last time. Why, if both are there, why not just make it easy?
We both have them ranked top 36. And like, I think it's important to draft because it makes you reassess your rankings. But
yes, correct.
Also, we do put a lot of time into the rankings, and I try to put a little bit of respect behind them as well. And like, I can't rank 36 running backs ahead of Chuba Hubbard.
Correct.
All right, everyone. Through 11 rounds now. Got our 2 stud RBs at the top. Christian McCaffrey, Omarion Hampton. Did not draft any more RBs until round 10 and 11. Scooped up Rashad White and Chuba Hubbard. Wide receiver run for us was from round 3 to round 5, and then round 7 to round 9. Jaylen Waddle, Luther Burden, Parker Washington, followed by Chris Godwin, Quentin Johnston, and Matthew Golden. Got Sam LaPorta as a tight end 9 in this draft at the end of round 6. Yes, Reeves and I were devastated to miss out on Terrence Ferguson. 1 pick before us in round 10, but otherwise we've actually been able to get our guys, man. Even I think twice now. We almost got Jaden Reed to come back to us as well, but we were talking about Parker versus maybe Sam LaPorta. LaPorta came back to us, and then we were between Rashad White and Chuba Hubbard. Wasn't as long of a stretch, but managed to, have our cake and eat it too there as well. So our latest endeavor is pushing quarterback yet another round. if they start double tapping, it can get dicey. But again, even in that scenario, I'm not terrified, even if our top 4 guys are gone.
Yeah, I think the one spot right now that I would say like maybe is an issue for us is tight end 2, because in this format you just get really deep. Like we're in round 11 to give you some context of there's been 20 tight ends taken and we're in the middle of round 11. Like this isn't going to happen in a non-tight end premium league.
I have Hunter Henry, AJ Barner, Greg Dulcich, Rondé Gadsden. Next guy's up. I will say Gadsden is right there with Ferguson. And I get it. We've seen Kohler and the Joker play ahead of Gadsden, so it's not looking good. We haven't seen Ferguson play, so we can imagine what it's going to be like out there. But if the Chargers are just kind of doing what they're doing, and maybe Trey Harris isn't quite as involved as we're expecting first team offense, if Gadsden has a 70% route rate in week 1, like he's going to be a top 10 tight end.
Yeah, this is also a format that gives a little bit of life to like a really boring player like Dalton Schultz. He's essentially Jake Ferguson, like
right.
He's not fun. Like you never feels good clicking Dalton Schultz. Don't get me wrong, but this is like a format that does give him a little bit extra life.
It's funny too, because I was slandering Schultz so much in 2023, that first year in Houston, because I watched Jake Ferguson behind him. And it's the same thing now, man. The Cowboys, they keep having these white tight ends who all wear numbers in the 80s. And it's the same thing now with Brevin Spanford and Luke Schoonmaker, where one of these guys catches the ball and I'm like, oh, which one is this? The Dallas Goedert, Zach Ertz issue all over again. So I almost held that against Schultz, I think, more than I should have, because I was like, Jake Ferguson's out here doing the same thing Schultz is. And it's like, oh, well, Ferguson's pretty good in his own right. So.
Yeah, Ferguson is a player you could tell would be really good if like he had like athleticism, because he's actually good on it without athleticism. But like if he
hurdles some guys though. That's like a tight end thing.
He'd be real scary if he could run.
All right, here's our double tap. T-Law goes to the Caleb Williams.
We're okay still because there's a lot of red on that side of the board.
Yeah,
and we still have all kinds of options.
That's what I'm saying. I'd be surprised if we don't take a quarterback with our next pick, though.
Probably.
But never say never. Every
there
team.
Goes Hunter Henry, though. Like I said, the tight end is backup tight end is definitely the one spot that I think we're a little fragile in this format.
Yeah. We could consider pushing. There's only team 2 that doesn't have a quarterback. Team 4 double tap Drake May and Joe Burrow. I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, they were off to a fun start, I think, with the 0 running back, but then went in a different direction than I would have, probably rounds 4 through 10.
That's a nice way of saying you hate 7 straight picks.
I really like the receivers. Really like the receivers. Do you remember Denny used to have that bit where it's like
I was just thinking that.
I really love the receivers. The rest of the team.
You're running backs though.
Well, there's just if you're doing 0 RB, you can't double tap May Burrow. You just can't. There's no need.
No. Our guy Brock Purdy goes off the board at the turn. I believe that that team didn't have a quarterback.
Schultz and Henry both go.
Happen. Schultz would have been nice to get back there. What about AJ Barner, man? One of these years, Reeves, one of these tush-push tight ends is going to be used actually at the goal line, and it's going to be crazy. Why not 2026 AJ Barner?
Yeah, maybe. I would rather do a little more upside, like even like a Sadiq or Gadsden, even though like they're buried. Like I would rather just like a little more juice. Like fair. Schultz was like the last boring guy. I think I was like, all right, he's going to play full time.
Why is AJ Barner boring?
Yeah, he's just boring. Yeah. Well, I think Arroyo's going to play a lot too, though. I want to see Arroyo come in and ramp up.
I just wonder if the Seahawks could throw the ball a lot more than we were expecting.
They could. They absolutely could. Just natural regression. The running back room to start the year isn't as strong as where it left off. Like absolutely an avenue where they can. Even the defense lost some core pieces. I think they're gonna be a very good defense. I'm not saying they won't be, but they lost some. Right. They lost some dudes. They
got some injuries right now in the secondary.
Yep.
Jonah Coleman. Got a cheat sheet out there for everyone. Again, it's in my Ultimate Fantasy Draft Guide article. I got all my tiers and rankings in there, and I even managed to put little green pluses next to guys I like and red minuses next to the ones I don't. And Jonah Coleman got a red minus. I I respect Jonah Coleman, Reeves, enough to think that he's going to limit Dobbins and Harvey. I just struggle to see how Coleman himself becomes a big factor.
Yeah, I'm fine with him in like the best ball formats, but in these streets where we're in the managed leagues, I feel like he's going to be kind of a roster clogger.
Yeah. I was talking to Braden Hribar, who is a very sharp young fellow as well. And he was drafting Jonah Coleman. And I was like, why are you drafting Jonah Coleman? He just said, I don't think RJ Harvey's very good. And that was the end of the response. And honestly, it's not a bad point.
But I mean, Harvey's going to play in the pass game. We know that he's going to be involved as a pass catcher. And I feel all the Broncos guys, you kind of need 2 injuries to tell yourself a story about all of them.
Exactly.
But in best ball, like there will be games like those guys hit. But in managed leagues, like on a weekly level, when you're setting your lineup, like where's the confidence going to come from? Or where like you're putting those guys in your lineup, you're like, yeah, it's this guy this week.
Hey, so 3 of the teams around the turn have 2 tight ends already. I know they could take more.
Well, we don't. I mean, we're kind of tight end, like really hit that wall. Like Schultz and Henry were kind of the last guys that was even like alive on.
Yeah.
Who do you like here?
Let's see. Woody Marks is still available. That's kind of surprising if we wanted to push QB.
Yeah, Woody Marks would probably. I mean, do we need him? I guess we don't really need anything though. We could double tap. We could do like Nix and Love or Nix and Goff. We could
Nix and Dart maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get our quarterback. Let's not. It's round 12.
I think we're taking
We've had
two
our
anyways.
fun.
I think we're taking 2 quarterbacks. Let's take 2 guys in this pocket because our roster's pretty strong here.
I do have Dart 1 spot ahead of Nix. Same tier. We have Waddle. What are your thoughts? Who do you prefer?
I'm fine with Dart. I think if we do Dart though, we double tap. We still double tap.
Let's do it, and sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Cool with Dart?
Yeah, I think we do Dart. Let's do Dart and.
Is that Barrett's Konami? I'm guessing.
I don't know if he was the Exodia guy or not.
Exodia, that's it. My bad.
Yeah.
Shout out Scott Barrett.
I have to check out.
The fantasy points, just relentless, just not even hiding, going after PFF. Brings a chuckle whenever I see it out there.
Say someone's got to step up into that space. Strike.
Hey man, I'm here. Competition. That's what we need. What we need in this world.
It's a great product too. I mean, the fantasy points data suite is a great product.
I really appreciate the effort to help quantify separation and things of that nature. I think because I was I didn't mean to put him on blast. Sometimes I accidentally do. I'm sure it happens to you too, Reeves. Like you just try to like converse in something and then it kind of catches on. You're like, oh, now I'm actively like got 5,000 likes. Like this is now becoming a problem that I did not know I was starting. But it was like they gave Keon Coleman a 0% win rate after week 1. And I was like, I mean, I'm not saying he's the best separator in the world, but like, how do you have 0%? And their 0%. definition was like, they just considered his separation on the catches like average, and to have the win rate, you need to do more than just be average. So like, whatever, that's fine. But I remember like going back and forth with their lead data guy briefly, and it was a cordial conversation. They're all good dudes over there. But I was like, it'd be really cool to see a gravity sort of metric, like, you know, they have in basketball a little bit, how Steph Curry just brings out the fear in everyone. Like I always pictured it with like Tyreek Hill, because you just see the safeties fly over there. And they said that was something they were like trying to look into getting sooner rather than later. So excited for all the cool stuff that Fantasy Points has on the docket.
Yeah, I mean, the data suite, like I said, I fully endorse them for if you're looking for an alternative. You had a PFF sub and you're not happy with the way things have gone, the direction it's gone. I would say that there for price point, that's where you would pivot to immediately.
Okay, we could go. The best running backs I see available are Ray Davis, Keelan Black, Brian Robinson, pure handcuffs.
Yeah, like all handcuff guys.
Black would help us because we are CMC, but we also aren't 100% sure he is that guy.
Do you know what else we aren't? Cowards.
That's true. I forgot about that part of the equation. There goes Bo. I want a Bo. That's okay.
I think we take Goff or Love.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
Love we could push. Love we could probably push. Goff we would have to take, I think.
We have LaPorta. That's another one.
Oh, yeah. I think we take Goff. I think we just insulate. We do dark. I think we just double tap and have our 2 guys.
I'm all good.
Not mess with it.
Don't need to be heroes today.
I mean,
Also,
the great outside of tight end too. Like this roster has no like immediate needs. Like we're not chasing any position.
getting White and Chuba and like actually having our bench RBs are playable.
Right.
Not too shabby.
I draft so many anchor RB teams. Like I'm always thinking about like throwing guys at a starting position, but I'm like, oh wait, we have Omarion Hampton too. Like, oh yeah, we're good. Like we don't need to.
I know, it's great. Jared Goff.
I think we do Goff. We have our insulation. It's a player we like. It's a stack. It's perfect, I think.
Jared Goff's another guy with a little green plus next to his name. Just the whole.
Have we taken any guys with a red minus?
Ooh,
Did I push any red minuses on you?
I don't think so. No red minuses. Oh, maybe LaPorta, but tight end premium obviously wouldn't be a minus with him. And even that minus, I don't know. I just felt, I'll be honest with you. I was looking at tight end and I don't think I had like any clear, I had McBride as a minus just at the cost. Because that's all it is, man.
Do what you want.
Just at the cost.
Follow your heart.
But I was like, well, I can't just have like Trey McBride as the only red minus here. So I slapped one on Sam LaPorta. So maybe some flaws in the system I came up with today, Reeves. We'll get the unpaid interns working on it and figuring things out here.
Well, tight end's one of those positions. If you're not taking one of the big guys at the top with that premier equity, you can kind of play the board.
Well, in a normal redraft that wasn't tight end premium, I wouldn't have wanted LaPorta there. I'd be fine pushing it and getting Isaiah Likely or Kincaid later, or getting a Goddard, Terrence Ferguson. But like you said, we had 20 freaking tight ends go off the board, and by round 11 here, you can't really play that game.
My argument for LaPorta in that range is, I think about like touchdown equity, and like he's a guy that if you were to tell me right now Sam LaPorta scored the most touchdowns at tight end, I'd be like, yeah, that probably there's an avenue for that happening. And that's just the way I look at it. And then I paired with like the Lions stuff, because everyone's betting on the Lions. They're telling me about all the schedule stuff. He's the cheapest piece, obviously outside of like Tesla and stuff, but he's the cheapest core piece. So that's kind of like my argument for taking him.
No, I get it. I see the argument for all those mid-round guys. I don't love that he was coming off the back surgery, and the hip thing doesn't matter. And I get it,
Kittle, and Kraft are all coming off of major injuries.
Yeah, and then Fannin and Pitts could just be in absolute dog water offenses, and Fannin overcame it. We were talking
about this on the pod last night. This year, like who do you think the best receiver to this point in his life Harold Fannin shared a field with? It's your boy, right? Like it's your boy.
Mr. 1,200 yards in 2024, Jerry Jeudy snatched his chain last year.
And like there's just a lot more dudes on the roster this year. And I get it, it's the Browns, but like you add 2 top 35 picks.
And Concepcion's coming for a lot of those underneath yak hitters,
Mm-hmm. Concepcion's going to get so many free squares. Like just so much stuff near the line of scrimmage.
I hadn't thought of it until yesterday, because Dwayne and I did draft KC, and I was like, I could see him having the rookie year Waddle season. Bad offense, but they just flow the entire
Not like a
through.
ton of yards per catch, but just like a lot of catches.
And I think he can work downfield. His quarterback play sucked at A&M too.
Yeah, and at NC State, because he was the year that Grayson McCall transferred and then had like 4 concussions in like 3 weeks, and they went to the backup. They had to go to the backup quarterback.
He had that reverse touchdown in the preseason, and I think I quote tweeted it and was like, he did a lot of good things at running back for NC State, and he did. And I got so many people going, he played wide receiver at NC State, you idiot. I was like, I know, man, but he played some running back too. He did. And I was like, I'm complimenting the guy. Like, where is this even coming from? But that's what happens when you're online way too much, like your boy here. Tyron Tracy, end of round 13. Are you Najee Harris curious, Reeves?
Not really.
Me either. No one's mentioned it's a guy who wasn't exactly fleet-footed to begin with, coming off an Achilles. Maybe he's not 100%. Are we allowed to wonder that with guys coming off Achilles?
Hey, we are allowed to wonder that. And, just Greg Roman really likes Najee Harris as a person and a player. So I get it.
Great player, better person.
Yeah, I was trying to look up that Waddle season, because that's a great comp. I think actually that's a great shout on your part. Yeah, rookie year Waddle, 7-yard ADOT. He had 15% of his targets behind line of scrimmage, a career high 57% target rate inside of 9 yards or below, and this is like that's like the path for Concepcion, right? 100%.
Because there's no one else on that team. Was it maybe Devontae Parker still?
It was Devontae Parker was on that team. And then I was looking.
And he was also priced as like a wide receiver 4. I remember people, because he was coming off that injury, but he was still out there and everything in camp. And I remember there was like a report, like an article, and they were like, Waddle made a catch downfield and he was slow to get up. And he kept practicing and everything, but we were all just holding our breath. And that was being seen as this negative. And it was like, come on, guys. Oh, that was the Mike Gesicki year, 112 targets too.
Yeah. And the 10% receiver screen rate, career high that year too for him. So that's what you're looking at. And then you're going to get probably more handoffs. Like you said, there's going to be a sprinkling of rushes as well.
Broncos D off the board.
Yeah, I think we have 2. Houston also went, I believe, as well.
Ray Davis would be the reason why I don't want Rams D, but I'd be interested.
I love Ray Davis as well. You know what's funny is everyone talks about like the curse of you always bring up the joke kind of flippantly, the tongue-in-cheek version of these tweets. This guy had 368 touches, so he's okay.
Yeah, right.
But no one talks about, because everyone talks about CMC, but James Cook had 400 touches too last year, like including the playoffs. Like, so it's like,
And again, I'm not really holding against CMC, so I'm not holding against James Cook. But if you want to do it, because Bijan has been at like 367 these
I just
last
love
2
when
years.
you do this guy at 363, so he's cool.
Well, dude, that whole curse started, and if you actually look at the guys who finished just underneath it, it's pretty freaking obvious where the numbers came from. So
Sadiq goes off the board too, who's a guy I was kind of like upside.
Yeah, our tight end 2 is not looking nicey, but you know what? Whatever.
Where are you at on a guy like Freiermuth?
I don't really want him here.
No, not with this pick, but just in general. I'm just throwing names out now at this point because we have to pick someone at some point.
I know McCarthy's run 11 in the past, but I just feel like when you're paying $90 million between Muth and Washington, it's going to be pretty split.
They're a team that scares me on a weekly projection stance because I think they're going to flip. I think there'll be games they run a lot of 12, and then some games they run a lot of 11. And
I just think Rodgers wants Washington out there, like to protect them. I don't blame him.
And there's a few teams like that this year. And like as we've shifted to more of the heavy personnel stuff, I think the next step, the evolution of this is where it's going to be frustrating for us as gamers that teams are going to come in and out of it.
Yeah. All right, Jordan Love off the board. We cool, Ray Davis?
We double dip, so it's fine. But I do love Jordan Love too.
Yeah, for sure.
You want to do Ray Davis?
If you have a better name, I'm all ears. But
I don't. I like Ray Davis. I like Ray Davis here.
Ray Davis coming down. And we don't even have a pure handcuff yet because Chuba is probably going to be the week 1 starter, and Rachaad White, I think it's going to be more 1B. So,
and granted, if we're playing that week, I also think just week 17 outright Ray Davis has flex appeal.
Yeah, right. Who they got in week 17? I'm so happy to not memorize those anymore in my life. I'm so much happier.
I mean, he's my highest owned player in best ball. So
who do they have in week 17?
Dolphins.
Oh man, yeah. When we're battling for $1 million over in the FFPC,
Ray Davis is going to be the dude.
Let's go. And then we're not going to win though because we think it's
But
Terrence freaking Ferguson.
We are going to start thinking about these tight ends. We got like Freiermuth, Barner, Killar, Arroyo, Dulcich.
Darren Waller going to make the team?
Yeah, Waller's at that back end here.
I'd be cool with Mayer like around 19 or 20.
Oh, yeah. We took Mayer last night late, too. I also really like Mayer.
He's going to start, dude. The 2 teams I'm most confident in living and multi-tight end are the Raiders and Bears. Probably the Dolphins up there, too.
Because the other guy's a receiver and can go, 100%.
Like these wide receivers going around here, guys, maybe a couple of them work out, but I'm just really struggle to think.
I'm so glad we're not drafting any of these guys.
I like A.D. Mitchell, but good luck trying to figure out when he's going to be out there, man.
The only guy I would say maybe we take a shot on with this roster is Malachi Fields.
Yeah, because we got Dart.
Because we have Dart, and it's like a late round. Because he's going to start. Like, Malachi Fields has sewed up the wide receiver 2 spot. Then the problem, he's the 3rd target in a Matt Nagy offense.
Yeah. When you put it that way.
But if you have outs, though, because like if Neighbors has a setback or like if he's just, no one wants that. I want Neighbors to be 100%, but it's in the realm of possibilities.
Going into round 15. So probably should look at tight end here. Or do you think we can push it a little bit? We have 6 more picks. 2 of them are going to be for
I think
DST
we need to
and
take
kicker.
at least 2 of these final 6 picks have to be tight ends, and we already know we have to take a kicker and a defense.
Yeah. So we'll probably get like one more running back with that. So
we probably have to take one. Are you like more of like a Dulcich here and just hope like it works out, or?
I don't hate Dulcich, but the running back's about to kind of evaporate. I will say.
Who do you want? Do you have a guy you have a running back you're looking at?
I mean, Brian Robinson's fine.
You just pure handcuff Brian Robinson?
Pure handcuff Brian Robinson. We have Kamani Vidal. We have Hampton. I know. I'm not saying we have to be bitches, but just a thought. Just a thought. What do you think? Do you see any other running back? I mean, we could wait and go like with a Seth McGowan. I'm just not all that confident if he's actually going to be that dude.
Right.
If there's a tight end that you want here, I know we'd be fine not taking a running back. Is there a tight end here that you want?
I mean, not really. It's just a group of dudes. It's just a group of dudes.
We should probably get one of these group of dudes then if we need 2 more. Because we'd be really annoyed if we don't get one of these tight ends. How about AJ Barner? I'm a little bit more of a believer. He's in your group of dudes.
Listen, that's fine.
I just think year 3, I know Arroyo could do some more, but if you do look at even when Arroyo was healthy last year, he wasn't doing all that much to limit Barner. He's like a different skill set, you know? My dogs are pumped.
Mayer, Dulcich. Listen, the dogs. I don't know if that was an endorsement of AJ Barner or they're mad at AJ Barner.
I guess we'll find out.
I love it.
My father-in-law just got here all the way from New York. That's a fun 10-hour drive.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Awesome, man. Visiting for the weekend?
Yeah, I had to go. He loves the Greek yogurt Yasso bars, so I always make sure to scoop up some of those when he comes. And then I buy an extra box or 2 so I can have them when he's gone because they're really good. I try to keep ice cream out of the house. There goes Brian
Robinson was the next pick, so you were on it.
That's happened a few times. Woody Marks went right after us as well. Jordan Love went right before us. We weren't going to take him, though. Where are you at with Kyler? Dwayne and I tried to really push the quarterback game. We ended up with Kyler and Jacoby Brissett in the very last round because we literally we got sniped on like Love, Malik, even like Darnold and Stroud, like just inches away from getting that second QB we wanted. But where are you at with Kyler?
I think the price is right to play for the right angle because I get the downside stuff. I wrote a lot about too, just like his fit in this offense is very questionable. But if he was going like the typical Kyler range where he's like QB 8 to QB 12, maybe you're a little like you bristle at that. But the fact that he's more like QB 15 to QB 18, I think is palatable because if he's bad, you just throw him back, man. Like
right, round 13, Kyler, like that's not going to lose your league.
He's still got Justin Jefferson. The offensive line is healthy right now. They're another team that's been like consistently like snake bit of like offensive line injuries. Because they've been aware, like they've addressed the offensive line in like the last 5 years. The problem is that they just keep getting guys hurt, and it's unfortunate. But and the schedule lines up too. They actually have our number 1 ranked passing schedule for the year. So he plays a ton of indoor games, which you always talk about Kyler. Like he's that kind of type of quarterback too. So. I mean, I get it. Like to me, it's just the price. Like, if he's bad, so what? Right. You throw him back. Goes pick up another quarterback.
I saw Kyler was commenting on that viral top 5 wide receiver seasons ever TikTok video. Did you catch that, Reeves?
No, I didn't.
Dude, you have to watch it. It is the best 4 minutes and 30 seconds you guys will see. I don't even want to spoil it for you, but there are 2 massive twists. I'm not into TikTok. I mean, TikTok's cool. I just don't scroll it. I'm on Twitter enough. That's enough for my eyes and heart for, to have one social media app, but just check it out, guys. I had a quote tweet with it today. Take my words for it. 4 minutes, 30 seconds. Very well spent. Anyway, through 15 rounds, got our 2 quarterbacks late. We waited until round 12, everyone. We got Jackson Dart and then Jared Goff. And guess what? Bo Nix, Mahomes, Kyler went in those rounds. Jordan Love went in round 14. Malik Willis, Tyler Shuck, and Baker went in round 15. We have Purdy and Stafford going round 12 and 13. I was saying, Reeves, like going into this draft season, I was like, I want to punish, like make myself do 100 push-ups anytime I don't every time I draft a quarterback before round 10, I think I was underselling it. I mean, you can wait until round 12 plus.
It's been great. Like we talked about in the open, that coming out of best ball season, it just feels so relieving to not have to take the quarterbacks in that strike zone because in best ball you have to take quarterbacks when like good receivers are available, and it feels so bad always.
Right.
And here you can just keep taking fun receivers and your running backs if you still like those guys, and just keep waiting, man. It's amazing.
We waited, felt good about it, didn't get snake bit.
There goes
Hell
Dulcich.
yeah. Yeah, Dulcich finally go. Started off with, again, CMC and Omarion Hampton. So feeling very strong about our top 2 RBs. Accorda did not take another one until round 10. Managed to get Rashad White and Chuba Hubbard, though. And again, who do we prefer? Yeah, probably Jonathan Brooks and Bill Krosky-Merritt, but Bill went at the end of round 8, and Brooks went all the way up there in the middle of round 6. And anyone that's that confident about that difference, man, I just can't quite see that. Tacked on Ray Davis in round 14. We're probably going to add one more handcuff-ish running back. But again, with CMC and Hampton holding it down, feeling good there. We mentioned it after it happened in round 9 where we might not need to take another wide receiver, and it's looking like that's going to be the case. Luckily, we got 6 good ones: Jaylen Waddle, Luther Burden, Parker Washington, Chris Godwin, Quentin Johnston, and Matthew Golden. My usual preferred rule is at least 5 wide receivers in 9. Because we got 6, I'm fine with 6, because especially we feel so good about the RBs. Like the fact we got 2 of our top 12 RBs makes me feel better. More of a hero build where you got that anchor and that's kind of it. Maybe then I'd be a little more inclined to tack on a Steelers running back of sorts. We kind of just missed out on those guys anyway, so not much you could do there. Got Sam LaPorta at the end of round 6, which is pretty darn good in tight end premium, and then tacked on AJ Barner in round 15. But we didn't get Terrence Ferguson, so who really cares at the end of the day, Reeves?
He really would have tied the room together. It was like the Lebowski. Yeah, the room just tied the rug just tied the room together, man. It would have been perfect.
Oh, they took our guy Malachi Fields. I'm so sorry.
I did. I saw Fields went. Dontavian Wicks finally goes to. Now that Lemon's practicing, but I still think Wicks is a pretty good value down in this spot. Like wide receiver 68, I'm pretty sure he beats that. I don't know if it ends up mattering, but I think he beats it.
Oh, for Wicks? Oh, okay. He just went. I thought you were.
I mean, he went. I was just rattling off some guys that got drafted. Gotcha. Gunnar Helm goes. We probably still need another tight end. We have Kalar, Freiermuth.
Could Waller looked pretty good last year?
Yeah, I just don't know how.
I don't really want him. I'd rather have.
Wait. You know what? Oh my gosh, I totally blanked. We have we did take Barner, so yeah, at least he counts for this.
Yeah.
This format also has free roll.
Oh, the free pass. Yeah.
So like we could take a dude like Colby Parkinson. And
Tunges.
If he doesn't score, we just cut him. So this format also has the guys that play Wednesday and Thursday. You have a chance. You put them in your starting lineup, and if they hit, you can leave them in. But if they don't, you can remove them for your starting lineup and also release them before Sunday. So
crazy.
We could take like a Tonjes or a Colby Parkinson, absolutely, and just like if they hit, we start them for a week, and if they don't, we cut them for something else. Because that's the same way I usually play kicker that way too in these formats, is get a free look at a kicker. The difference this year though versus previous years is there are 2 free roll games, because there's a Wednesday game and a Thursday game this year. So like you have like Borregales. Now Jason Myers and Mevis always get drafted anyways, but like Pinheiro and Borregales, like those are guys you can take a free roll at, and if they have 10 points or 12 points, you put them in. If they have 1, you cut them and just take a free kicker. It's actually a great loophole to play through this, so we can keep our mind to take like a dart on like Colby Parkinson as well.
We're on the clock. I don't think we maybe need to go tight end just yet.
No, I was saying keep in mind.
Running backs that stick out to me: Kamani Vidal, Malik Davis, James Conner. Any of those names doing anything for you?
Vidal would be the only guy. I know that. Like
we could get a sick defense. The Eagles are there, and we could also do my Ravens.
Oh, I do like Eagles a lot.
Let's do Eagles.
Oh yeah, because not only are they a good defense,
cool,
like a good elite defense, like they get an awesome run out.
I have them and the Ravens right next to each other, 5, 6, and I started off with the Eagles 5th, even in my like Big 5 group. I was looking at the Ravens schedule a little bit, but man. Just Vic Fangio, all those young dudes they got running around there. It's going to be a nice ball control offense as well. Eagles.
The Commanders in that offensive line that we just talked about in week 1. Then Titans the week after that.
2 games against the Giants and Commanders is pretty nice.
Yeah, you have a Panthers game in the front. I mean, they play some good teams too, but you get the Giants games, you get a Panthers game, all in the front half. Yeah, definitely like the Eagles a lot. I don't mind if we're gonna go on a defense. I was way good on that.
That was the 5th defense off the board. Again, Texans, Broncos went second in this one. Rams went third. The Rams one's just so crazy because we've had the whole Aaron Donald and the Myles Garrett trade, and you're like, oh yeah, they also fixed their secondary by invading the Chiefs for both of their really good corners as well. So Rams are going to be a wagon.
Their defense, the front half of the year last year was incredible. And when they started to have the injuries at cornerback is when it started to fall apart. So the fact that they added not only McDuffie, but Watson too, like, and Myles Garrett, man, it's definitely scary.
Oop. Forgot I had some. Where is that? Is that mock draft? I'm on the clock for something. That's not good.
You're on the clock.
Oh, we're good.
You were talking about taking one more handcuffy running back. Where are you on Samaj P. Ryan?
Man, Dwayne was trying to talk me into him last night.
Oh, here we go.
Samaj P. Ryan again. You really think if Chase Brown went down, they're not figuring something out? That's not. I mean, P. Ryan hasn't had 100 carries in the season since his rookie year.
But he's gonna catch a ton of passes.
Yeah, I guess he freaking could.
And he would still be the goal line back in that scenario.
You don't think he could be like the Ty Johnson? I know he's big. So maybe it's not.
I mean, he was getting a little bit of goal line stuff last year, the back half.
There goes Kamani. Okay. All right. Now that Vidal's gone, I'm okay with that because I have the same concern with Malik Davis. My other question would be James Conner.
Yeah, James Conner, you're just hoping for the cut trade. My problem with James Conner is I would be a lot more confident that if he wasn't hurt already.
Yeah, the fact he's not back. I mean, they didn't put him on PUP, but they're just like, yeah, we don't know when he's going to be out there in 11 on 11.
Right. It's harder to trade. Like I'm sure teams would be like, hey, what's actually going on here? Like,
it's like, hey, why is he not practicing?
Because there are outs for him. Like obviously the Lions, because Pacheco again, I saw he had a new injury this week. He had a back injury.
Yeah.
Obviously he is the Petsing connection, and I don't know if it's probably loose, but the Packers, he just played under Jonathan Gannon, and Gannon was hired there. Maybe he stumps for them with the Jacob stuff, but.
What was the Conner surgery, man? Because it was a foot. They initially said ankle. It was actually foot surgery. I don't know. You want Piron?
I don't mind. Yeah, if you want, unless you want to do. Yeah, there's no one else, right?
Mayer would be the one guy. But if you want to do the free pass tight end thing, I get it too.
Oh yeah, well, I would be fine just taking Mayer instead of trying to be too cute and saying we have to do a free roll. Because I think Mayer's a better player. I just think Mayer's a better player than.
Yeah, let's go Michael Mayer.
Yeah, that's cool with me.
He probably won't have standalone value, but I don't know. He could finish tight end 18 or something, and then in this format, that actually.
I definitely think in round 20 we just do whatever kicker is there from Pinheiro or Borregales, and then.
Sweet, yeah, that makes a ton of sense.
And then if they score 12, you keep them, and if they score 1, we just get another dude.
We have our defense, so we could actually. I think we have an extra pick than we were anticipating. I might have added it up wrong. So we're going to have 2 more picks before we got to get our kicker. So we can maybe get Piron and Conner. Who knows? Crazier things have happened.
True. Yeah, because we're good at receiver still. We talked about maybe taking one more receiver, but we just didn't really find a spot to get one. Malachi Fields was like the one guy I was kind of looking at.
Yeah. Jalen Naylor's still on the board somehow. Start loading up on Raiders.
Yeah, let's get all the Raiders.
My guy, Travis Hunter. Judy. God damn it. Judy's going to prove everyone wrong. I should double down more than ever. Rank him like wide receiver 38.
I mean, people are going to be mad when he has like a 85% route participation in week 1.
The thing that got me, and shout out to my guy, Dwayne. He's made this point over the years. I've learned a few things. If Denzel Boston goes for 90 yards and a tud in week 1, everyone's going to lose their minds. If Judy does, they're going to be like, we don't care.
Don't care.
The rookie early breakout is real. And, got to talk to Zach Jackson on this very channel. Great conversation. He was saying, like, not even close. Boston and KC performing better than this guy. So every year, Reeves, I'm just obligated. My mind makes me draft some dud loser wide receiver at like pick 160 again and again and again. And I look at my exposure afterwards. And I'm like, why did I do this? But maybe next year.
At least it was a cheap player. Yeah. They ended up being expensive in your portfolio, but he was a low cost player in drafts.
Just only hype up real like distant late round dudes, and then if
because your highest owned guys are always going to be those guys that are super late, because they're just your kind of go tos in this. You're like, hey man, I actually I'm telling myself a story on this player that's super cheap. No one else.
That's why it's impressive if you can get anyone like the top 50 at like 20% or higher ownership. Right, you're going out of your way to get him at that point.
I told you my highest guy that I have is Ray Davis. Like, and it's
let's go.
Like it's the same thing. Like Ray Davis is my highest roster player.
I shout to one of you guys in the comments. You're holding me accountable. You guys got me at least once. Okay, you got me at least once so far since we started up this channel. But when I was going through the handcuffs, I had Ray Davis in my top 5 handcuffs. I was just giving Ty Johnson a little bit of respect because I was like, it was just that one game from 2024 and. Again, week 18's my blind spot sometimes, man, because fantasy season's over. I'm usually driving back from New York after visiting the in-laws and stuff. So I just didn't put it together that Ray, again, dominated the usage over time week 18 last year. He's had 23 touches now in both of those games without James Cook and balled the hell out in both of them too, man. Like I know they didn't use him quite as much on the ground this last season, but that was also because he was too busy messing around being a first-team All-Pro kick returner.
I also think that's going to change. I think they're going to alleviate James Cook's rushing attempts, not to the point where anyone's scared for fantasy, but I just think there's going to be, that's where they kind of give him a little bit fewer touches, and then they trade some off for receptions, which are just better for fantasy anyways. Mm-hmm. But I do think we're going to see a little more Ray Davis in the regular offense, kind of more like year one Ray Davis.
Look, I'm not saying the dude is James Cook or anything, but he's gone out there and made the most out of his opportunities. Even if he's average, it's the Bills' offense.
I mean, it's the Bills' offense.
About that?
It's a great offensive line. Still really good, even though lost Edwards, but still really plus offensive line. You've got Josh Allen there and score a buttload of points, and he can catch too. Like if he's not a zero either in the pass game.
No, not at all. Katron Allen, Nicholas Singleton, back to back on the same squad. Love seeing that.
Yeah,
let's
keep
get
them
the
together.
Lions back together. Reeves, I know you were doing that a lot with Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews.
Yeah. I also like doing it with Gibbs and Montgomery in the front.
Nice.
Keep those guys together. They're great camaraderie.
I was a proponent. Now I've moved on to just Goff and Kyler because it's so easy to do. But I like the Boomer Sooner late round QB strategy because it was provocative. You can get Kyler and Baker back on the same team.
I mean, Baker, I think, is just undervalued. Their team, I think, is going to have to throw a lot, too. Their secondary is not good. They can get caught in some shootouts. Their run defense is going to be awesome.
I probably always had a soft spot for Kyler because I think that's my biggest bet I've ever hit. It was just like an early season Heisman one for Kyler. Because I remember watching him. Yeah. I remember watching him run around at A&M, and I was like, who the hell? Because it was him and Kyle Allen were the 2 5-stars. I was like, who the hell is this Kyler Murray guy? He's the fastest dude on the field, and he's like 5'5", and made his way to Oklahoma, and Baker was obviously the man, but when Kyler got his chance, he certainly made the most of it. Zachariah Branch.
I'm hoping when we make these 3 picks, when we get out of here, Taylon Green's playing in this preseason game, and we can watch Taylon Green run around.
Oh, hell yeah.
He hasn't played. He didn't play the whole first half. I saw Gabriel played the whole first half.
Come on. I'd be so fine never watching, I should say, Dylan Gabriel.
He threw 3 touchdowns, but it was against a bunch of defense.
I'm just shitting on the guy. Yeah, he threw 3 touchdowns, so, Nah, he was nice at Oregon. I'll give him respect.
Yeah.
Year 9 at Oregon, he got some good things going.
Year 9.
Gotta show some respect. We'll make these 2 picks and we can just bounce, man. I'll just queue up a bunch of kickers.
Oh, no, it's fine.
No, it's cool. I honestly have a 10 p.m. hit on this sleeper thing we're doing. I didn't think this draft would go a full 2 hours, but
no, the one difference, like I said, comparing us coming out of best ball season, the one thing that you do kind of miss is that going from the 20-second clock to the minute clock is a big difference. Is a huge difference.
We don't need a minute. Do 30 seconds. Figure it out beforehand. All right. Malik Davis, James Conner, the top running backs I have. Jarquez Hunter got traded. Maybe he's the guy in Miami. I don't know. Probably not. I guess P. Ryan's still there. Let's do P. Ryan.
Let's do P. Ryan, and if you want to do Connor coming back, I'm cool with that. And then because I think Connor has a bigger chance of still being there than P. Ryan.
Yeah, I agree with that. P. Ryan's got that beard too, man.
What's that?
Piron's got that beard.
Yeah, aesthetics, man.
That thing is deep. Samaje Perine Gamada out here. All right. Samaje Perine, I relented. Come on down. RB6 for us? Take that.
Yes.
Jalen Wright just after. I guess the Ollie Gordon rib injury could maybe be a little worse than anticipated, but Jalen Wright also lost a fumble last week. There's a chance they both just suck. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, probably, and the Dolphins are probably going to be bad anyways. If Achane were to go down, I don't know if we would be squeezing. Like Achane is like the dude where you're like, all right, he can overcome this because he's this good at football. But the other guys, you're like, I don't know, like definitely not. Definitely
That's so
not.
true.
And I also just think McVay really likes Dean Connors. I think that he really he really likes Dean Connors, and I was like, yeah, I'm okay to move on with this.
Ronnie Rivers is a guy too, right?
Yeah, dude, when Ronnie Rivers was playing on third downs in that playoff game against the Bears, I was like losing my mind. I was like, what is happening? I was like,
why are you on the field, Ronnie Rivers?
What is happening right now? Or I think it was the Seahawks game is when he was playing. Yeah, it was the second game, the second playoff game.
Sometimes I accidentally leave Spotify up and
or technically their third playoff game.
I adjust my earphone and I have Spotify in the background. Just music starts blasting in my ears. Got MGK going on. Honestly, Reeves, I do most of my shows, solo, and I still put my earbuds in. I'm not listening to anyone.
Correct.
I still put them in. I'm talking into a microphone. I don't need the earphones for anything, but I don't know. I just do it.
Still have them in.
There goes Travis Hunter finally. Malik Davis. Justice Hill. Justice Hill is fine in best ball. I think it's probably Adam Randall, if anyone. And Baltimore's another one of those teams, man. I think they probably sign someone if it comes down to brass tacks.
Yeah, absolutely. He got banged up too, right?
Randall? Yeah, he is a little bit banged up. Rashina Lee hasn't been playing at all. That's the other thing. Okay, there goes Najee. I was about to broach that topic. So I think I saw a shit.
Oh, yeah, I would have allowed it. At this point, you could literally tell me on anybody.
AJ Dillon. No.
We're in the F around and find out zone.
Okay, last pick. Or how about we just get our let's go James Conner.
You wanted Conner. Take Conner.
I mean, James Conner, he plans on playing football, right? He's on a team.
I thought that about Brandon Ayuk at one time.
Oh my God. There was I didn't do it all summer, thank the Lord, but there was a week where I was clicking a lot of.
We talked about it when we hung out in June. Like early on, I was like, it felt like I was like, he's not as crazy as everyone thinks. He's kind of just posturing to get out of there. And then the second he tweeted back at Jaden Daniels, I was like, oh no. I was like, oh no. It was literally the Arrested Development meme. Like, oh.
Now we're out. Now we're done.
Oh, made a huge mistake.
Okay, I'm queuing up a ton of kickers. Reeves, one last time, going through the squad. RB1, RB2, Christian McCaffrey, Omarion Hampton. Lock down those spots. What do? We attack this middle range of wide receivers. Again, prefer 5 and 9. We ended up going in with even more than that because we are just that cool. Jaylen Waddle, Luther Burden, Parker Washington, tacked on Chris Godwin, Quentin Johnston, and Matthew Golden after that. Got our tight end in the middle of that, Mr. Sam LaPorta. Finally, in round 10, went back to running back Rashad White, Chuba Hubbard. Yeah, that's right. Haven't named a quarterback yet. Didn't need one until round 12. We got Jackson Dart, who, a little bit of a wild child. What if he gets hurt? Well, if he does, then we got Jared Goff playing one dome game after another in a loaded offense with Sam LaPorta on our squad throwing the ball to. Scooped up Ray Davis as a nice handcuff RB, Samaje Perine and James Conner rounds 18 and 19 to fill out that room. Got some more tight ends because this is tight end premium. You don't want to just be sitting with one. Normally, though, redraft, feel free to do so. AJ Barner and Michael Mayer. Got that Eagles defense that we were feeling pretty good about there. And man, all right, Ravens didn't go till round 19. So I was very fine with the Eagles, but guys, again, if we had missed out on Philly, Baltimore Ravens, that's the DST skeleton key for the very late rounds, I do believe, this year. I'm feeling pretty good, Reeves. How about you?
Yeah, this is a fun team. I think it's structurally built the way you there's no outliers here. We didn't chase the position, and we got a lot of fun upside picks at receiver that we threw into the hopper. And if these running backs are just good, this roster is gonna be real good. If CMC and Hampton are this good at the top, we're gonna be in a really strong spot.
Hope we will be, my friend.
Tight end 2 is the only spot for this format. I think that we flew into the sun, but you're always gonna fly into the sun somewhere in a snake draft.
And for the record, we were so ready to get Terrence Ferguson. Reeves was spelling it out and then just got sniped. Before you even finished your rant, too. That freaking sucks. But yeah. Reeves, you're a gentleman and a scholar and a good friend of mine, man. Always appreciate hanging out with you. Anything fun you got going on you want to let people know about?
Yeah, so I mean, I have the whole draft kit, up at the site at sharpfootballanalysis.com. You can check that out. It's got like a lot of game theory stuff too, not just if you're looking for rankings and tiers. I have those too, but it's a lot more like how to play the game of fantasy football as well. I find that stuff very interesting. I also have a lot of I did like a lot of fun series on like league wide trends. Like what like the league is doing and like how they're utilizing each position and how that relates to fantasy. So that's a really fun series to do that I always like doing. And other than that, I just hope that injuries are turned off these final 2 weeks and we're blessed going into the season. So yeah, listen, like and subscribe to this channel, audience. I'll hit you your own, man.
My guy, the great Rich Hribar at Lord Reeves. Again, sharp football analysis, tons of sharp analysis going on over there. So we appreciate you, Reeves. We appreciate you guys for hanging out as well. If you like the video, please like the video. And as Reeves mentioned, hitting that subscribe button helps out as well. But don't tell anyone about this channel, okay? We want to keep this very small and a select few so that only us win fantasy football. Isn't that the hilarious thing? Like, oh yeah, let me tell my boy about this great fantasy football advice channel so he can, just start knowing all my secrets. What a, freaking awesome content industry. But that alarm means I have to go. So it's been a pleasure, everyone. Until next time, take care, everybody.